The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93 X.
All right, welcome. I bid you welcome to Life Inside the Electric Circus. What band, Josh? Wasp?
Well, I didn't get a chance to answer. You do that sometimes. Our old pal Doug Nelson used to do that to us.
What year, 1986, what album, Inside the Electric Circus? Really, truthfully, I want to welcome you to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. It's Thursday. Sorry about the Wasp thing, Josh. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't stop myself. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. My damn, we're getting there. Knowing Ollie is the way that I do, none of us, correct me if I'm wrong here, Josh, none of us, and I include myself in this, maybe with the exception of Ashley, maybe, none of us strike me as the type who would just up and do anything on a dare.
I used to be that way in high school.
Used to be too.
There was a couple guys that were extreme enough where they would do absolutely anything. I would certainly have my limits, but I would be one of those guys.
You were?
Oh, yeah. In high school. I've become
What were some of the things that you would do? What were some of the things that you did?
Driving stupid. A lot of that.
Oh.
We used to
I know you've never backed down when you were a kid. You never backed down to an eating challenge.
Oh, yeah, I would do anything like that. We used to, I don't know how much I can say. It was all bad ideas.
Bad behavior.
Not necessarily evil bad, but bad ideas. We would crawl underneath giant bridges, like the bridge over the Mississippi here. Over the Cedar Avenue Bridge. We would go
Someone's
underneath
texting
them.
in right now to ask if you spotted Tara Reid down there. I know they are. Folks can't let go of that. Crawling under bridges.
We would climb, scale buildings.
Scale buildings?
We would do stuff like that people would dare us to do.
All right, so you used to have that element in you.
Yeah.
You're a grown man now with children. Well, anyone else have a comment? As far as today goes, would you agree with me that maybe with the exception of Ashley, we're not that crowd anymore?
No, I got nothing to prove.
Where's Ashley?
Yeah, I'll do just about anything.
You will to this day. You'll do just about anything.
Yeah, I mean,
on a dare, on a challenge is what I mean.
Yeah, when people say that it's like a dare, it just takes things to another level. You're like, I
didn't know that about you.
If they double dog dare you, you're screwed.
I lost my most, and this is many, many years ago, my most recent, it was very humbling, my most recent, food challenge. I visited a friend who lives in California, and we went to Disneyland. We went to, I forgot they call it, the Hollywood Walk or something like that. And there was a Buca de Pepo restaurant there. And they have, family-sized meals.
I remember those joints.
And I had bet the server I could eat an entire thing of spaghetti by myself. And I was very confident. Very confident. And we bet $100. Right?
You and the server?
Yeah, we bet $100, and she's like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "She doesn't know who she's messing with."
Man.
And I barely got through half, and I thought I could have kept going, but I thought for sure that I was going to barf, and I'd ruined the rest of my vacation, so I stopped. That was humbling. That's the one and only time I ever couldn't get through one of those challenges, and I haven't done it since.
All right, so keep this in mind, folks who are joining us in Wisconsin a couple weeks from now at Turtle Lake Casino. Ashley cannot turn down a dare.
I barely entertain dares anymore.
No, I never was that type of guy. We all had friends, or maybe still do have that friend, who will do any damn thing if dared, if challenged.
I mean, there were a couple guys in high school, we just wouldn't challenge them anymore because there was no point. They would do it. I mean,
there'd be no drama to it.
So I went to Catholic school, and one time there's a bunch of nurses hanging out at a picnic table right there in the quad. And we had told one of our buddies, hey, go up there, put one leg on the bench, and start talking to them. Don't make any reference to it, but pee your pants. And he did it.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, and that's one of the more mild ones that I'm comfortable sharing on the radio.
Wow.
He would do absolutely anything.
You Catholic school kids were wild.
I wish nurses would have hung out at my high school, but anyway, especially dudes. Some dudes can't handle their manhood being challenged. And then, of course, you got to factor in, the idea that some people will do anything for attention.
Yes.
Or to create an image of themselves that really doesn't exist. A few of the wilder, I'll do anything type dudes I grew up with, Josh, I know for a fact that they'd go home and cry themselves to sleep. But they wanted so badly to be a wild character, but it wasn't their true self. Where I'm going with all this, and, we can continue to discuss, people in your lives or people that used to be in your lives who were those dare takers, those folks who, if you challenged them, they'd do anything. But the reason why I brought it up was Wapple and I saw something yesterday that gave us an idea. As some of our listeners know, maybe others aren't aware, and why would you care? But it is a conversation that we have on this show from time to time. This building has been under renovation for what now, Josh? 15 years?
Something like that. Yeah. And, it's been a lot of hurry up and waits and then pulling back. Like, okay, got to get everything out of this place. We're going to start on Monday, and it never happens.
So, there are empty wings of this building now where just everyone and everything is gone.
Garbage everywhere.
Yeah, like old computer monitors just scattered throughout.
Old computer monitors, microphones, telephones. There are some rooms that are just filled with garbage. That's how it plays out, I guess.
The telephone thing is absolutely hilarious because there's mounds of them. I mean, it's like 5 feet tall because this place, if you don't know, this place is gigantic. The space we're in, and it used to be filled with hundreds of people. And now there's, how many people do you think we have work here anymore? 30?
30, 35?
All that I could definitively tell you is 5. The answer
you know
to
that
how
for
many,
sure?
Yeah, other than that, I'm not sure. I know the 5 of us, so there's a few. Anyway, there's a lot of rooms and studios that are just filled with garbage. That's how it's gone so far. So Wapple and I, yesterday, we had to go off to this random studio here in the building where there is still a working microphone and a working, what do you call that thing that you finger bang in the morning?
A computer.
Computer and a board, a soundboard is what I was going for.
Yep.
But we are recording some of our commercials and whatnot in this garbage room. And there's just random items everywhere. What caught my eye and what caught Wapple's eye was there are 2 water bottles in the garbage studio room. One is about half full, one's maybe a quarter full, that have been sitting there for God knows how long. So Wapple and I thought, could we convince anyone here to take a big fat swig out of those water bottles that have been sitting there since 1996 or whenever renovations began around here?
Have they been there that long?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it's been.
Because there used to be.
I thought they were just like either. Honestly, I thought they were either mine or Dana's old water bottles we just didn't grab.
So you want to play the game? Who wants to get Legionnaire's disease?
Right. That's we were trying to think of what would we call it? Who wants herpes? Who wants E. coli? Whatever grows in a warm plastic water bottle after a decade. We just were wondering if anyone here would take that challenge. It sounds like Ashley would be the only one who would consider it.
It's even worse because where those water bottles used to be, we had like little cubbies where it had people's names on it, and then you can put stuff in those cubbies.
That's not there anymore?
No, they took that out.
Oh, yeah.
So everything in the cubbies is just sitting on like a desk, and that's where the water bottles are.
Ashley,
so
are you thirsty?
I have no idea how long that water's been sitting in there.
I got my own water today.
You do? But what about 30-year-old water?
Yeah, it's aged like fine wine, Ashley.
What about an enema? Would you use it as an enema?
No. I've drinking some old water before.
You have dranken
Yeah.
some old water before.
Yeah, like water.
I love radio professionals, don't you, Josh?
Yeah, I've drank old water before.
How much did you drinking?
I drink it in a little bit.
Anyway, I have found water bottles in my car, and I don't know when they're from.
Was there
when you're
mold
really
in it?
thirsty, just drink it. No.
You found old water bottles in your car and you've dranken it.
Yeah, plenty of
Okay.
times.
Oh, sure. So have I suppose. Old water. Yeah, so have I.
Some of them, maybe even a year. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's funny. So have I, I'm sure. But recently, my friggin' wife told me that that's a bad idea.
Oh.
Something about the plastic and when it sits for a long period of time and gets warm and cold. Anyway, use that however you like. I'll tell you how I used it. I threw it away immediately. I don't care. I'm not too worried about, But,
I wonder.
the place is a real mess. Wapple and I had some fun kind of looking over the joint yesterday, and we decided to take a shot with this water bottle challenge.
I should look up how long you can hold on to bottled water. Just because we have bottled water from my stepdaughter's graduation party, and that was in 2020.
Yeah, look that up. Actually, you should, because, like I said, the friggin' wife got on my case about it. I don't remember what was going on. Maybe it was we found an old water bottle in... I think that's what it was. There was a couple of water bottles that had been sitting in my pickup for a while, and I unscrewed the cap and took a swig, and she said, for Christ's sake, don't you have any idea how bad that is for you? And I said, no, I have never heard this story before in my life. Something about the plastic, all right? So...
Says here, unopened bottled water can be kept indefinitely if it's properly sealed and stored in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight.
Okay, well, that's the problem is, if
It's in your car. It's
your
getting-
vehicle gets hotter than Dutch love on some days. And,
What you just read was a dude on Reddit,
oh,
right? Isn't that the description you just read?
I just Googled how long can you, and it was just the first thing that popped up.
Yeah, just check the source there. I think that was a dude on Reddit, just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm reading one. The FDA does not set a limit for the shelf life, but general recommendation is around 2 years.
Yeah, and it just depends. The storage, so the more I'm reading about it on different sites, the storage is what's most important, right? If you have it sitting next to a window, all those microplastics are going to get in your butt.
I hate
I mean, really-
microplastics in my butt.
So you got to keep it
did you say in your blood or in your butt?
both. Well, I said butt, but yeah, it could get in your blood.
Here's the thing. I'm sure it's
So
not
it
a good...
looks like most places are saying after about 2 years, you should consider getting rid of it.
2 years is a long time. I'm sure it's not good for you to drink water out of a water bottle that's sitting in a hot plate. But something tells me that's probably not going to be what kills us. You know what I mean?
True.
Oh, man. So probably shouldn't have said anything, Ashley, because now you're being dared to do all kinds of things.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, me and my buddies used to play what we called the odds game. So
Talk to me.
So you would give each other a dare, like, hey, I dare you to do that. And it'd be like, what are the odds that you would do that? So then you choose a number between 1 and 100. And then your buddy does the same thing. And then you go 1, 2, 3, and you say the number at the exact same time. If you hit the number, then you have to do it.
It's kind of confusing, but I think I follow you.
I was dared not to shower my first semester of college,
Oh, that's a good one.
and I made it. I went the whole semester without showering. No
Same with me
problem.
without
That's
washing
impressive.
my sheets.
I'm sorry?
I didn't wash my sheets my entire first semester of college.
Oh,
I bet
Christ's
that wasn't a dare. That was just how it goes.
yeah, I just didn't realize that you needed to wash sheets.
No, Dana, semesters of college, I've gone years without washing my sheets.
Oh.
Years. When I was a young guy, didn't even consider it. I know, it's repulsive now as you get...
Yeah.
But when you're young, I don't... semester, that's kid stuff. I love that not shower. Well, so what was the semester? What's your name again, Josh? What was the semester? Like 3 months?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Didn't shower.
Nothing.
How painful was that after a while?
Your skin gets prickly, that's for sure. So, yeah, I wasn't... The only thing I was allowed to do was splash cold water on my face. Well, I guess they didn't specify the temperature, but that's what I used.
That sounds miserable.
How did you cover up the smell after a while?
I don't know. Nobody ever said anything.
How did you not get fissures and,
Yeah, there was really nothing. There was no... And I had hair back then.
Oh,
I was gonna
bet
say-
you smelled like cheese.
Yeah,
Well, it's possible because my roommate's feet were so bad it would smell up the entire dorm.
Oh, so nobody could tell it was you then.
But, I had a long-distance relationship, so I had nobody really to be around.
How bad did your head hurt, though? Like, from not showering your hair?
Yeah,
that was uncomfortable.
That hurt.
But after a while, you just get kind of numb.
That's and what did you win?
Nothing. It was just a regular dare.
Just a dare.
Yeah.
Well, I think I would have wanted some kind of a prize. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand pride was on the line, but I would have demanded something in return. So there you go. This building is just a trash bin. And there is some fun to be had if you wander in and out of these garbage rooms and see some of the things that have been laying around for years. There's old pictures in there, Josh, of you and I. Plenty
When we had hair? Or not that old?
Not that old.
Not that old.
I mean, we're wearing ball caps, of course.
Yeah.
If you show me the picture, I could honestly tell you if there was hair underneath that ball cap or not, and I'm sure you could too. Old VHS tapes, and by God, there's all kinds of, random radio station swag. Is that the word, swag?
Yeah.
T-shirts and CDs and
Any
DVDs.
reel-to-reels in there?
I haven't seen any.
Because I guess when both of us first started, they were still using reel-to-reels where they'd cut like literal tape, like film. It would look like that's how you'd make your edits.
Remember
I haven't seen any of that.
the old big fat movie projectors from back when we were kids, Josh? I mean, yeah, it's similar.
Just that, but thinner.
Thinner?
Yeah.
Yep. And we used to have to, I don't ever want to hear any one of you younger people bitch about editing. Because when Cubby and I first started, editing involved a massive reel-to-reel machine.
And you had to do it in real time. Right.
balls.
Yeah, right?
Oh, boy.
It involved a wax pen. Wasn't that right? That you would make a
mark where you want to cut.
and then a razor blade.
Uh-huh.
Like they did in the Civil War.
And there was like a little grid on the table, for lack of a better word, where you do the cutting, and there'd be different angles for how extreme you wanted, like a fade, or how you
that's
wanted to
super
put it
sweet.
together. I know it's not super sweet, Ashley. It's a pain in the butt.
Well, yeah, it sounds painful, but it's very interesting.
So let's say
Yeah,
you wanted
I would-
you want to put music underneath a commercial. You'd have to record the music,
Yep.
and then go back, record your commercial. If you want sound effects, you have to go back and record all that. It would take forever.
It would be
sucked.
fun to
It
do
was very stressful.
It would be fun to do for one day, I think, for me, just to learn it and go back.
You
know
would
what I mean?
have, knowing
I'm
you
a dork
Wapple,
with that stuff.
you would have a Muppet meltdown. You would be so frustrated immediately that you'd have one of those spinning meltdowns that you have.
Oh, and then what you do is you tape the film back together, right? So that's how you keep it. Yeah, imagine making a incorrect cut, Wapple.
Oh, and then
Start over.
or having to redo the commercial because it wasn't good enough for the client.
Or they change the offer.
Yeah.
Dana, I understand you took a tour through one of these garbage rooms here in the building. Was there anything that grabbed your eye?
Oh, there's a Macho Man Randy Savage CD.
That belongs to me. That wasn't there an autograph on it?
I believe so, yeah.
That was from the day when Macho Man Randy Savage was legitimately pushing that CD. I want to say 1997, 1998. He came in studio and talked about his CD. What the hell was it called again? Wasn't it called I'm Macho Enough for Your Mother or something like that? Anyway, I mean, someone maybe could look up that CD. What year was it released? Because he came in studio.
Be a man.
Be a Man was the name of the record.
2003.
Oh, my. Was it really 2003?
Yeah.
So we must have been working. We were working together.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he brought in his blonde girlfriend,
Yep.
Gorgeous George?
And then didn't he do an appearance at Target Center or something? I thought we did something over at
I
Target
think it was a
Center.
Sam Goody at Mall of America I saw, because there's also a newspaper clipping promoting his appearance at a Sam Goody.
He was very friendly. His girlfriend was a little odd.
Yeah, she kind of seems like it.
2003, I'm surprised it was not longer ago than that. But that was one of the greatest thrills I think that Josh and I have ever had here in the building, was having Macho Man Randy Savage hang out for a morning. Okay, there was the Macho Man CD. I understand there was a Anna Nicole Smith bobblehead. I believe that belongs to me.
Well, yeah, I think that's yours as well. A lot of wrestling action figures.
A lot of wrestlers have come through the building and dropped off some of their trinkets.
There's a blank VHS tape with a label on it about the Dom triplets, which I'd be kind of intrigued to slide into a VCR if I had one.
Well, what do you mean, a blank VHS tape labeled
Yeah, it's
Those are two different things.
Well, it's a VHS tape that was recorded. It's not like this was bought at his store. It was recorded, and somebody slapped a label on it and wrote the Dom triplets on it.
Maybe when they came in studio, because they visited a couple times when they were Playboy playmates. I bar gigged with the Dom girls one night, and it was one of the wildest.
Yeah, that would be wild.
We had a great time, and they thought I was really cute. That's how I remember it. Yeah, this place is just
literal dumpster.
It is a dumpster, but it is kind of fun to see that old garbage laying around. Most of it's useless, but you know what we really should do? We should help out today. Let's go into that garbage studio and just everybody take 5 items with them. Even if all you do is then throw them into your trash at home, let's at least everyone take 5 things and help. It's terrible in that room.
It is.
Oh, it's bad.
It's depressing that we walk in.
I spent a Saturday helping an engineer get rid of stuff, and it didn't make a dent.
No.
It made absolutely no dent. And we had these big burly dudes come in from a junk company. They grabbed a whole bunch of stuff. Now, they cleared this place out for sure, but it still looks like we could use them 2-3 more times.
All right, so Ashley will still take a dare, she says. She can't handle it. You can't handle the pressure. You have to go ahead and do it.
It does.
Well, can you tell us a great story of when you were dared to do something? I mean, if you're going to talk like this, you got to have a story. You were dared to do something and you had to do it?
I guess I never get like really serious dares because I'm a girl and people always just naturally take it easy on me.
Well, we did the what would Ashley do for $100? We had to come up with a way to get you some money.
Oh, the chew spit.
And so, that was one of the things. So you did a few of those.
That's probably the worst.
Well, but
dare
that
I've
was
ever
for
done.
money.
Yeah.
Like Josh's dare when he went 6 months without showering, that was just a straight up dare.
Yeah,
so
they
you're
usually
saying,
involve money of some sort.
okay, so you don't have any stories
I guess,
for it?
I mean, like when I was younger, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. We were like playing Truth or Dare at a park. And I remember this one because like it was like me and 2 other girls and a dude, and I had a huge crush on the dude, and so I was hoping that like the dares would like gear towards that.
Sure.
But instead the dude just like dared me to pick up a random spoon that was laying on the ground and like put it in my mouth. And I didn't so I did it, but like that was not my goal of that evening. That sucked. And then I think
some
about
street
it now,
bum was scratching his hemorrhoids with that damn spoon.
Yeah, like
Drugs.
that spoon, especially the park I was hanging out at, that I shouldn't have put that spoon in my mouth.
Yeah, there was meth on there.
Yeah,
you had a meth
Definitely
spoon.
meth.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet there was ass on it.
Something bad. Like, ugh.
I bet someone scratched their ass with it.
That seems like more of a fork job than a spoon job to me.
Yeah.
We could play What's in Ashley's Mouth.
More of a fork job.
I remember in like at lunch would be a lot of dares that guys
Oh, yeah.
would do.
Oh, yeah, that's when all the dares at our school was.
Every junior high's lunch table, that was ground zero for what kid is going to eat.
Who's snorting what?
I remember snorting Sour Patch Kid dust, like the sour stuff at the end, the sugar. And that.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
Boy, that hurt.
Like Dorito dust?
Just a red face.
Yeah, we snorted a lot of Splenda back in the day at restaurants and stuff
Why
like
did
that.
we think that was cool?
I don't know. Yeah, it was stupid.
And we didn't even need TikTok to challenge us to do it. We
No,
just did it for
we just
fun.
did it.
Yeah.
I drank half a bottle of soy sauce. I regret that.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, you
got your sodium intake for about 5 years.
Yeah, somebody told me later that could have killed you, man.
I think it has killed people.
But did you have the kid at your junior high? I mean, every junior high at lunch, you had the kid that would eat anything. Someone would chew up their food, spit it on his plate, and he would eat it.
Yeah,
Oh.
yep. I'm picturing him right now.
Did you guys also have the kid in school that like did self-inflicted dares? Like there'd be a cookie covered in ants. He'd be like, "Do you dare me to eat it? Do you dare me? Do you dare me?
no.
I'll do it. Do you dare me?" We're like, "Sure."
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially if he was
Why not?
shouting at me like that.
Yeah, there are.
wow.
You're right. There's people that would always ask you to do a dare that you just didn't. I didn't give a crap about.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like-
sometimes my youngest will do that. Hey, if I do this, will you buy me the new Madden? I'm like, no, I don't really care.
Don't
to
care.
watch you jump off the deck or whatever. No. Go ahead if you want, but that's for free. I'm not going to pay anything for that.
What I think we had a little bit of an original situation at my junior high. And what I mean by that is the kid at our lunch table who would eat your chewed up food. And I'm not kidding you. You into a damn milk carton and he would drink it. The route I'm taking here to where I think our situation was original was this kid was a genius. He was like the smartest kid at our school. Usually, the kid who's going to eat the chewed up food and the ants and the this and that is kind of like this oddball, outcast ball of filth.
Yeah.
This friggin' kid, the kid at our junior high who would just ingest anything, was this straight-laced, great athlete, genius student, rich family. So I don't know what he was doing.
Bruh.
And Christ almighty, I think today he's a millionaire heart doctor or something.
Good for him.
Isn't that something? I
Oh,
don't.
wow.
What the hell is this? Before we get out of here, Kevin Hart now has 3 shows scheduled for, how does a person say this, for the Twin Cities?
Yeah, the first 2 sold out immediately.
Yep.
So they added the third.
What the hell?
Tickets are getting up there, too, in price. Whew.
Are you trying to get into the show, Wapple?
Yeah, but
I'm not really like a comedian guy. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't really go to stand-up and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
I haven't been to a stand-up show in
I
a
like to
long-
go sometimes.
There's only a couple that'll get me to leave the house
Like,
anymore.
I'll just watch it on Netflix. I'll just watch a special like that at home.
Sure, I don't like going anywhere, but if I do, I don't mind seeing a stand-up comedian. I've seen a few. I used to go to Acme all the time when I was a younger man.
Yeah, I was drawn to that, 15, 20 years ago. Kevin Hart, Acting My Age tour.
We tried to buy tickets to that when it first sold out. A buddy of mine and I.
So this would be his 3rd show is Sunday, February 23rd
Yeah.
at the Armory.
He's going to be hanging out all weekend.
Yeah, he will be hanging out. Tickets are on sale Friday. We will have your tickets here on the program and be listening. We can dump an opportunity on you a little bit later for that 3rd show. God, I bet that guy's just sitting on a mountain of money.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Jesus. That kind of ties in nice with the text. He said, you know what, guys? Kevin Hart sold out a long, long time ago.
Yeah, he'll kind of lend his name to anything, won't he?
I've have not gotten involved in his comedy tours. I've never watched him perform stand-up on television or in person.
Did you watch his pandemic special,
Yep.
Wapple, from his house?
Yep.
I think it was. That was excellent.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really good. The one that he was in Philly, and then that's his hometown, so it was just nuts. Everyone was super excited.
So I see him on television commercials a lot. We all do. But I've had no exposure to his stand-up. Haven't seen many of his movies. I saw he and Will Ferrell, what was that called? Be Hard, Get Hard.
Get Hard.
Get hard. That was pretty good.
That had its moments. But I have to say, and I know this movie franchise gets a lot of grief, but the Scary Movie franchise.
Oh,
For whatever reason, I love that stuff.
So do I.
And I believe it was the second one. Don't quote me on this because they all look the same, of course, and I don't even know how many Scary Movie versions there are out there. But I believe it's the second one. This was my first exposure to Kevin Hart. He and is the guy's name Anthony Anderson?
yeah. It was Scary Movie 3.
3. He and Anthony Anderson and this other actor are so hilarious in that Scary Movie 3. That's what I think of when you say Kevin Hart.
Anthony Anderson, is he still doing anything? Maybe he's got a TV show now, but that dude could be really
He
funny.
is very funny.
Oh, man. In Malibu's Most Wanted, Anthony Anderson is wildly funny. He and what's the guy's name? Is it Tay Diggs?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
that's my wife's ultimate.
Yes.
Yes, he's number 1 on her hall pass, which,
So-
by the way, is a very, very long pass.
It's a long... How long does she need?
I mean, this is like, if we print it out, this is a CVS
Oh, it's a
receipt.
long list.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Where am I?
If you're on there, you're buried just so I don't see it.
The way she looks at me, I know I'm on that list. So I just wanted to share that with you. Kevin Hart I think back to Scary Movie 3, and he and Anthony Anderson were just a riot. But by damn, he's got 3 shows coming to town this winter. And like I said, listen a little bit later on. We'll give you an opportunity. You're a terrific crowd. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a few minutes with the stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Bingo. All right, Bill, we're recording now. And please put your phone on silent.
Oh, where is my phone?
Let's go, man. Okay. Get it together over there, player. Go ahead. Pick on me the way that you want to.
I wouldn't say that to my son.
Just go.
All right, why would people want to listen to the Sims Complete podcast?
A father-son dynamic duo talking about the game of football.
We do a lot of quarterback and coach talks. It's fun. I love doing this. It's been awesome.
Sims Complete. Check us out on the Believe Network. Appreciate it.
Just search Believe, BLEAV, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I hear you. Earlier we were talking about dares. We all knew somebody back when we were young, or maybe it was you, who would take any dare. Every damn last one of us probably played truth or dare. Some folks will just go for it. Got a couple texts. 651-989-9393 is how you go ahead and get a hold of us. Got a couple of texts on being dared to do this or that back in the day. Listener says, this was one of my last 15-hour drinking days. Dude used to put in a solid shift. 15-hour drinking days. He said one of his buddies dared him to drink a bottle of urine.
Oh,
no. Come on.
Oh, okay. I think, if I was super hammered, maybe I'd loosen up to the idea, but that's pretty extreme.
Well, it depends on whose urine.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Nope, doesn't.
No, Dana has a point. It does depend on whose it is. I could think of a couple. Anyway, so the guy says he was on one of his 15-hour drinking days. His buddy dared him to drink a bottle of urine. And he said his buddy brought it to the table. And our listener here says, I hammered it down.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose it doesn't say, but I was wondering if there's any repercussions outside of gross burps later on, maybe.
Oh, gross.
He didn't mention, but you're right about those burps.
So you mentioned Truth or Dare.
Yes.
Never played.
Oh.
Is Truth or Dare, that was basically invented to get amorous, correct?
Yeah.
Did you ever just play it with a bunch of dudes? Or if you're, wasn't it kind of like guys and girls getting together hoping somebody says, I dare you to kiss me or something?
Oh, we were hoping for much more than that, but you're right.
That's the goal.
It was a mixed crowd, and the goal was to accomplish something that you hadn't. When you were young, like we used to play it in grade school, you were hoping to get to a level with a girl that you had never been afore. When you get a little older, hell, we played it into our 20s up at St. Cloud State, and it was straight up disgusting.
Yeah.
If anyone would have been looking in the window, they would have called the cops.
When we were young, too, I also remember preemptively setting dares up ahead of time. Hey, dare, me to kiss so-and-so, that type of thing.
We used to do that all the time.
Really?
Yeah. We'd set it up ahead of time with our buddies. Like, all right, when it's your turn, dare, me to have to go in the closet with so-and-so.
That's genius. Or devious.
It got pretty foul, Josh. It got foul once we got a little older.
That seems like I've never watched Survivor, but you hear of alliances in Survivor and stuff on who they're going to vote off the island. Yeah. It seems like that.
That's very close.
Oh, man, when we were in our 20s, when it really got wild, I ran around. A buddy of mine had a cabin party. I ran around the party nude for like 10 minutes, and the Truth or Dare crowd said, yay! And everyone else who wasn't playing Truth or Dare said, put some friggin' clothes on. And then there were sex acts that were performed upon this person and that person.
I hope this isn't an inappropriate question, and if it is, shame on me. And I know we're in polite company.
Go right ahead.
What is the furthest truth or dare ever got you as far as sex acts? I mean, child support, or how far?
I don't remember truth or dare ever leading to intercourse, but it got us everywhere but.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Go in the room and do this, or right in front of the crowd, do that to that.
In front of the crowd?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, not like a 7 minutes of heaven.
No, it was right there in the middle of the room.
That part's a little crazy to me.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. We got foul. If anyone would have been looking in the window, they probably would have called the cops. All right.
Boy, I'd be all right even if I wasn't a party to that. You know, if I just was, I wasn't the one that was being victimized by a young lady. If there's people around, I wouldn't mind just kind of seeing that in person.
There's lots to see, Cubby. Lots to see.
A fly on the wall.
I'll tell you the worst idea we ever had. Well, I shouldn't say we ever had. The worst dare that I was a part of, I was sitting in a chair. We're all just hanging around this college house playing Truth or Dare. And you don't have to tell me that it was a little silly that we were still playing this game in our 20s. But, again, it reached such insane levels that I enjoyed it.
I want to play it now. I don't think that's silly at all.
Okay, good. Just in case anyone thought, well, that's for kids. Well, we turned it into a game that was, by God, not for kids. So at one point or another, I'm sitting in a chair, and a girl was dared to pick me up out of my chair by my penis.
Oh, ouch.
Like she's pulling a chain.
That wouldn't take much
Pulling
effort.
a rope. And, of course, I was dumb enough to actually... of course...
You wanted the contact.
I'm drunk. It wasn't about contact because at that point in the game, we had contacted many times, right? Where I'm going with this is, when the dare actually happened, I guess I'm the kind of guy that plays by the rules because I did not assist her at all. Oh. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just dead weight.
Anyone with any brains, any guy with any brains would say, okay, I'm fine with this. But when the time came for her to physically lift me out of my chair by my Johnson, I would have assisted her, pushed myself up. But I thought, oh, no, I can't. The dare was for her to straight up lift me out of my... So she almost tore it out from the root.
That's bad decision-making. For me,
stupid.
I would treat it as if you were pulling me somewhere by an invisible rope. There would have to be no touching. Really, I would be up out of that chair immediately. And I just had a thought. Dana, the situation you described, you devious bastard.
Yeah.
I was picturing it working. What if the chick's like, oh, gross, no, yuck, in front of all your friends and everything?
I'm sure that happened.
Oh, that happened.
Yeah.
Where people would say, hell no.
Mm-hmm. But I quit playing.
But there were always a few people who would say hell yes to anything.
I wouldn't take that risk. More anxiety than hair, Jesus said. Another strategy would be take advantage of the truth part of the game to find out if a girl you liked you back. Spoiler alert, she didn't like me back.
Oh. Yeah, that was always the move.
All right, one more... one more text here on dares. Oh, boy. This listener says, in 10th grade, my buddy dared me to light my hair on fire with a cigarette lighter. And it worked.
Oh, I bet that reeked and hurt.
Mm-hmm. I scorched my eyebrows once, and, man, burnt hair just stinks.
Ashley, with the truth or dare thing, I'm trying to think, what would I do in that situation if somebody wanted to know if I liked them? I think I'd be polite and say, yeah.
You would. Next thing you know, you'd be in a 3-year-long relationship. And it all started because you didn't have the balls to tell the girl that she didn't appeal to you.
You say don't have the balls. I say just trying to be polite, not hurt somebody's feelings in front of a crowd.
That's the better way to say it.
Ashley, how would you handle that situation?
It's the same exact way. Yeah, just just let them down nicely.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were very cute.
Yeah, I've definitely been in that situation where, the person that's dared to kiss me, I do not want to kiss them. And I feel bad because I'm sure I went through with it every time because of guilt, but I'm sure they knew.
You're a guilt
kisser. She does not want to kiss me right now.
Guilt kisser.
I didn't want them to feel bad. Same like you, Josh, like in front of a crowd.
Pity makeout session.
Yeah, you don't deserve that.
Here's a text message asking me about that night of Truth or Dare at St. Cloud State where a gal picked me up out of my chair by my penis. Dude says, or maybe it's a lady asking, did you gain any length after that?
I was wondering the same thing.
It must have, because she almost pulled it right off its moorings.
Oh.
And I'm just a stupid idiot playing by the rules. And we're only halfway there. Keep going. Keep pulling. What an idiot. The next morning, I was just, oh, God. It felt like I had, been hit by a car.
Dinky Doo Trucker Butt Jesus recommends nobody spray paints their butt. He said it hurts very bad. And he gets in the B-hole, 0 out of 10, does not recommend.
Spray paint on your star?
Yeah.
Gonna have some colorful turds after that, I bet.
Awful. All right. Who here likes a nice massage now and again?
Love them.
I've never had like a real deal one.
I only had one.
Don't touch me. Too ticklish.
I had an uncle who was much more health conscious than any of us ever gave him credit for, because he was always going in and out of the neighborhood massage parlor at all hours, too.
Sure. Release the toxins and whatnot.
Those 24/7 massage parlors.
He was always going in and out of the neighborhood massage parlor. No one ever really thought of him as a health conscious guy, but I guess he was.
I had a buddy that used to go to one of those as well. And he was given the nickname Mucho Grande from one of the masseuses that worked there.
Oh, really?
Masseuses.
I've had a massage or two when I really needed it. I had some neck and back problems, and it was the best damn feeling in the world to have the masseuse knock those knots and pinched nerves and whatnot, knocking them back into place. But I've had a couple other massages where I was in unimaginable pain.
That was my experience.
And by damn, I wanted my money back.
I didn't like it at all.
No, sucked.
My wife got me a gift. There's a lady she went to, and I'd injured my shoulder, and as that was recovering, she's like, you got to go do this and have her give you what's called a sports massage.
Ooh,
and I
awful.
did, and at one point, I jokingly asked her, are you mad at me?
I hated it.
Why are you doing this so hard?
I had the same experience with what they called a sports massage.
So that must just be how they all are.
Oh, my God, it was horrible. And, it took everything. Once the lady was done tearing me limb from limb, unmerciful. It was everything to keep. Once I got on my feet, to keep from fighting her. I wanted to fight her.
Oh, my gosh.
What the hell was that? I said. That was horrible. And then, of course, I was talked into trying it again with a different masseuse. It was just as awful.
Oh, I want one where they just really get in there.
Well, that's a sports massage, and Ashley, we're telling you, don't do it.
Oh, I'd kill for one of those.
No, did we? Are we not speaking English over here?
Why do you do this?
I want to get I just want them to mess me up.
No, you don't.
You get a normal one.
Yes.
Get a regular massage with a little bit of the oil, a little bit of the squeeze.
I want the candles. And the cool music.
Don't ever wish for when they really get in there, because Josh and I just got done telling you it is terrible.
I love massages, and I've had many of them over the years, and I've had one that was a bad experience. It was completely different from you guys and yours. My ex got me a gift card to some place I'd never been, and I go, and I'm sitting there in the waiting room, and all of a sudden I hear, Dana, I'm ready. And I look up. It is the best-looking woman I've ever seen in my entire life. So the entire massage, I was sitting there. I could not relax, because all I was thinking about, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, because she was that good-looking.
You got a boner.
I did not get a boner. I was able to power through, but my goodness, she was gorgeous.
Oh, I always got a boner.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I only went once, and she was...
Except for the sports massage,
yeah,
of course.
she was so mad at me.
That my penis didn't work for months after that.
Ashley, I'm going to get you a gift card for your birthday for a massage.
I would love that.
Just a regular one.
Just a regular one?
I don't want you to be in pain.
Are you saying you've never had a regular one?
No.
Oh,
never.
You'd love it. Absolutely love it. You'll probably sign up and go back once a month.
And if Dana could give you any recommendations, don't get a boner.
Don't get a boner. Don't get a boner.
Yeah,
All right,
I've seen a lot of movies. I'm pretty sure I know how those usually end, especially if it's girl on girl. I think they have like a whole channel dedicated to just those.
Oh, they do that for girls, too?
Yeah, it's like the masseuse. It's like all girl. Oh, I know it. It's all girls massage.
Yeah, I've seen their movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're wonderful. What about Ultimate Surrender? Are you a fan?
What is that?
Is it just me and Ashley talking here?
Yep.
It's
just
when
us.
the girls are on a wrestling mat, and then the loser has to be the submissive one, and the winner puts on it. Okay.
Yep.
Are you a
I've seen
fan
those.
of that too?
Yeah, some of them.
I like those.
If you go down the rabbit hole, they get more serious as you go.
What do you mean by more serious? Like different plot lines and things? People are betrayed?
There's no plot lines.
Nothing at all?
It's a wrestling match. There's a crowd at times.
Is there really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they wrestle. And let me just tell you.
You don't want to lose.
Well, that's where I was going. Do you know the movies, Wapple?
Yeah, I've seen one or two.
I don't think it's a bad thing when she loses.
What's it called again?
Seems owie when you lose.
Ultimate Surrender.
Ultimate Surrender.
Yeah.
Sounds like something you
Check
could
it
see on
out.
the USA Network, but I'm guessing that would be wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they wear outfits, or is it completely nude?
I think they start off just wearing underwears.
Okay.
Anyway, no, I don't think the loser really is the loser.
Everybody wins.
Wapple, everybody wins, yeah. Okay. I've never heard of a massage gun.
Oh, you haven't?
Oh, those are great.
Yeah, those are super popular.
No, I've never heard of it.
I'm surprised you haven't, because I'm surprised like the wife doesn't have one or something. Those are crazy.
Well, maybe she
popular.
does. I don't
Those
know.
can get kicking, too.
There was even a local wrestler. He would come down with water bottles and workout stuff, and then he would have an electric massage gun. He would like shoot himself in the neck before the match.
Yeah, there's
the
that
arms.
artist Massage Gun Kelly. He's pretty popular nowadays.
Well, maybe if you showed me a picture, I
bet you have.
I'm completely unfamiliar with a massage gun. It does sound like something a person should be careful with. A Chinese feller was apparently using a massage gun. Okay, Josh is showing me a picture. Well, yeah, I can see it. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I'm not familiar. I don't know how I would be. I haven't been to a massage joint. And anyway,
well, no, you just buy. This is like for your house. You can get it like a Walgreens or something like that.
never saw it. Okay, a Chinese feller was apparently using a massage gun on his face. And then he used it on his eyes.
Oh, no.
And he liked the feeling, but after a while, he almost had the eyes fall out.
Could imagine.
Oh.
He had to go ahead and have some surgery because the lenses of his eyes got dislocated.
Yeah, you're just constantly getting punched in the eye.
It's like a little jackhammer.
Yeah.
So you guys have also never heard of a massage gun.
Oh, yeah, never.
I tried one out at, it was like Sharper Image or one of those stores.
Yeah.
Mr. Lou is how the fella likes to go by. He's a 42-year-old at this point. He upped and bought a battery-powered massage gun because a fitness instructor told him it would work wonders on his tired muscles. Josh had a cute saying that he came up with about fitness. Do you remember what you used to say?
I remember it started with a question where I would ask someone if they like fitness or if they're into fitness.
That joke had legs.
It really, really did.
Yeah. So dude goes out, buys himself a massage gun because a fitness instructor told him it would work wonders on his tired muscles. So the dude, Mr. Lou, he buys, a massage gun. He liked the way the massage gun felt on his face. So he went that way with it. But also, Mr. Lou said his eyes always felt tired and dry. So he started pumping his eyeballs with that massage gun. And apparently that was a piss poor idea. After about a week of skull effing himself with the massage gun, Mr. Lou noticed that his vision had turned to ass.
Have you ever just kind of rubbed an eye and then all of a sudden when you open it, you realize I can't see a thing?
Yes.
I mean, that's scary enough.
Yeah, you pressed a little too hard. You scratched a little too. His vision had become blurry. He went to the hospital. Doctor told him that his lenses had come dislocated. And it's all because
sounds horrible.
Yeah.
it's all because Mr. Lou was just knocking the hell out of his eyeballs over and over again with that silly massage gun. They also told him he had cataracts, and I don't know if that was related, but
He needs to try some eye drops, maybe.
Or sleep.
Yeah, and he yeah, they're tired and itchy, so I pounded them with the massage gun.
So, it says here, the massage gun's high-frequency vibrations were comparable to rapid punches to the eyeball. He was using his own eyeballs as little speed bags, and he was punching them loose over and over and over and over again, day after day.
I only tried one once.
What a dumb bastard.
I know, and at the store, and I'm sure there's multiple levels, but that thing punches hard.
Yeah, if you put it like on a right spot on your neck, it makes your vision blurry just because of like how much it's hitting you.
So you wouldn't dare pointing it down at the old brajola.
Maybe on the low setting.
Well,
there's a difference between Cubby's or Guy's brajol and what you got going.
That's true.
Yeah, I might. Maybe I'd give that a shot.
All right.
I would be very. Yeah, I think I would.
Oh.
I'd be very careful not to get what doctors call the nut bag.
Yeah, true that.
Oh my gosh, what if it got stuck?
What would it get stuck in or on?
I think she's referencing herself now.
Oh.
Is that what
Wait,
you're
are you
referencing?
going back to you? Or?
Yeah.
You're just slugging your uterus over and over again, or whatever you got
It
down.
takes control of itself, and it's just going back and forth. It's terrifying.
It becomes sentient? What do you mean?
What Mr. Lou didn't realize, the poor bastard who was beating the piss out of his eyeballs with this massage gun, what he didn't realize is the eyes. They're very sensitive. You can't give them a beating like that. They'll come loose.
You needed someone to tell him that?
I guess so. Mr. Lou's he's not the brightest guy in the world, Wapple.
No, he's not.
He had to undergo laser surgery to put his eyeballs back where they belong.
I wonder if he could see better.
He can. It says here that he can see better now after the surgery, but he can't hear.
Oh, no.
Oh, somebody says massage guns, great up the butt.
Oh.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll do my own
And then
research.
they corrected his hearing, Wapple. They corrected his hearing.
Oh, don't tell me he can't see now.
Still has his vision, but he forgot who he was.
Oh, no.
What movie? Johnny Dangerously, 1984. I can see, and I can hear. But who the hell am I? Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. The rest of you that don't can kiss my ass.
DJ Biggie Ben said, we got a massage gun at our house. One day my son was using it on his thigh, got bumped by the dog, and the gun got his goodies. Oh, man.
Ouch.
Wow, never knew there was such a damn thing.
Just constant punches to the goodies. Oh.
And a lot of people are saying you're not supposed to use those on your neck. That's the first place I'd go.
Yeah, whoops. Okay.
I mean, we're getting a bunch of texts saying, do not use that on your neck.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
I guess it'd be bad
Whoops.
for your spinal cord.
I assumed,
Thinking about
where else? That's where, like, all my tension is.
You know what's bad for your spinal cord, Wapple?
Oh, no.
Being the loser on an episode of Ultimate Surrender. Your spinal cord will never be the same.
I don't know what you can say, but I really need more information on this.
Oh, we'll watch some videos when the show's over.
Or
You're talking about Ultimate Surrender?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love it. It's a great show.
Your spinal cord would also hurt if you were Shane McMahon and you got tossed through the glass 3 times by Kurt Angle.
I was there. I was there when that happened.
Oh,
Shane O'Mac.
twice.
Here comes the money.
Warehouse She Jesus says that she has used the massage gun downstairs.
Yeah.
You got to be careful where it goes. And she said, it goes fast, Ashley. And she said, then rolling on the floor, laughing emoji, actually too fast, she said.
Just pump, 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 pump.
I wonder if anyone's ever modified it.
Oh, hell
I'm
yes.
sure they have.
Wapple?
Definitely.
A half hour after the massage gun.
Here's this brand new product.
A half hour after it hit the market. someone was coming up with a modification so they could get the wife from across the room with it. You know what I mean? That was a silly question on your part. We're very innovative.
Yeah.
The human.
Yeah, have you ever seen a Sawzall dildo?
Yeah, I actually have.
First time I saw that, I thought someone's in trouble. Okay, people are saying, yes, the massage gun does work on a man's privates and quickly as well.
All right, fair enough. We like to believe that we offer a little bit of everything on our daily Stupid News report. I think this proves that point. Check out the videos. I would imagine they're up there on our what do they call that website? 93x.com. The woman who just went ahead and set the world record for the largest tongue circumference.
That's a big tongue she's got.
Yeah, that thick baby is up on 93x.com.
She set the record for the largest tongue circumference for a woman's.
How does she fit anything else in her mouth?
I know, really.
How?
How does she? Yeah, you'd think she could choke on that thing quite easily.
Says here she's hauling around a tongue in her yapper that's thicker than a ping pong ball. But not always. And it's hard to explain. I'll get there. She's from over there in Italy. And she's got the fattest lady tongue on planet Earth. Ambra is the girl's name. That's a new one on me. Ambra. You got to see it to fully understand. When she pushes her tongue out of her word hole and then flexes it. That's the only word I can come up with. Flexes it. It's not as if it's this big and fat when she's licking an ice cream cone or when she's talking to someone or whatever else you do with the tongue, oral sex. It's not like it's in that position constantly. But when she kind of fans it out, it's as big as a house. It's got a circumference of 5.44 inches. You got to see it to fully understand it. She took the record away from an American gal called Jenny Duvander.
I don't like to hear that.
Oh, it almost makes me sick looking at it. It's
bizarre.
It is weird.
Ooh.
Now, why Guinness is keeping track of tongue circumferences, nobody knows. Like we've said before, the Guinness Book of World Records used to be kind of a dark, disgusting, frightening experience, and now it's all just silliness and an endless parade of dorks doing whatever they can to get in the book just so social media will pay attention to them for a few minutes. But there she is. Go to our website, 93x.com.
Kind of looks like a brain.
It kind of looks like a brain.
Or a ball sack.
It looks like I was thinking it looked kind of like a nut sack. Speaking of dorky social media nonsense, the annual tradition known as Fat Bear Week was supposed to kick off this past Monday, but the folks who run the deal decided to postpone the official start due to a bear-on-bear murder.
Oh, no.
That was captured on a live stream.
Can you imagine watching something like that?
No.
You got the whole family gathered around the computer. All right, this is beautiful. Look at nature. And then, oh, my God, a bear-on-bear murder.
Yeah, I imagine if a little kid or, say, maybe your grandma was watching that live, they might have been a little bothered by what they saw. So in case you don't follow, this is the 10th anniversary of Fat Bear Week. It's a competition held at a place called Katmai National Park in Alaska. There's a pile of brown bears that live there. And this is the time of year where the bastards start fattening themselves up for, what's the word again? Hibernation, right?
I always thought Fat Bear Week was kind of fun.
Yeah, me too.
I never watched the videos, but they have pictures of all the different fat bears, and boy, some of those bears are fat.
I'm slightly familiar. Slightly familiar.
It's weird how popular those things are, like that Eagle Cam. Remember how popular that was? There are people not just were into it, but obsessed with it. Randy Shaver was one of those, where he'd be checking that thing all the time.
I watched the heck out of that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff.
Nature can be a magical thing.
Sure can.
So officials at this park in Alaska, they take pictures of the bears, and then they put together a bracket, like, say, your NCAA basketball tournament bracket. They put together a bracket of all the different fat bears so internet dorks can vote on their favorite fat bear. So there's webcams everywhere's out in the woods. folks can watch bears doing bear things in real time. And this year past Monday, one fat-ass bear attacked another fat-ass bear and killed it dead.
It's cheating.
You think that was the motivation?
Yes.
To get rid of the competition? I want to be this year's fat bear.
So sad. I mean, like, that's what nature does, but I can't imagine seeing that. I would not be able to watch it.
Right, because it's billed as this adorable time.
There's just a bear murder. Dude.
I'm going to kill the bear. Say it.
I'm going to kill the bear.
Say it again.
I'm going to kill the bear.
Say it again.
I'm going to kill the bear.
That's right. What one man can do, another can do. Say it, Cubby.
Say I'm gonna kill the bear! Say it! I'm gonna kill the bear! Yeah, you're damn right. Today, I'm gonna kill the motherfucker.
Oh, they do. I mentioned this before. If you watch that movie, The Edge, boy, so good.
Oh, my damn.
If somebody says, hey, let's take a drink every time they say Charles, don't fall for it. You'll be dead before the first act is over.
Please tell me that there's no one in the room who still hasn't watched The Edge. I mean, you got to be honest with me. I'm not going to like that. Go ahead.
I've not seen The Edge.
What is wrong with you?
Wapple, have you watched it? Be honest.
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Yep.
Because I know specific. We all tend to like the same movies, or you and I do at least, but I think you would love this one.
Yep, it's very good.
All right, so a fella called Mike Fritz. He's a naturalist who knows a thing or two about bears. Back to this bear murder that delayed the beginning of Fat Bear Week. This Mike Fritz character said he was surprised by the killing. He said it was unusual for a bear to exert the energy required to kill a rival with hibernation coming. Interesting little fact there. So, Fat Bear Week, the organizers of the event thought maybe they would delay the unveiling of the Fat Bear Week bracket until they cleaned up the guts and whatnot from this bear murder.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking to see that headline.
Did you?
I couldn't watch the video, but yeah, there's never been a scandal in Fat Bear Week before.
Man, it's just a matter of time.
Helicopter fixerer Shiza said she highly recommends following the National Park Service on social media. They're hilarious, she said. A 715er here says, look up the fish doorbell. It allows you to watch a webcam and open a door for fish to go through a wall in a dam.
Yep.
You're familiar with that?
Yep.
That sounds cool.
You know, and don't get me wrong, I understand the draw of watching animals out in their natural, what's the word that folks use? Habitat, natural environment. I understand that draw. But you know what's way more interesting to me? People. Is there a website where I can just watch a camera that's pointed at 6th and Hennepin?
Yeah, there are. I mean,
really?
You look at traffic cams, but World Star Hip Hop, there's some stuff for you right there.
What is that?
That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a website where they have all kinds of videos of people going nuts and goofy stuff.
Well, I just want a live camera pointed at somewheres in downtown Minneapolis. I just want to see derelicts be derelicts. Does that exist?
Well, there's
or is that
traffic cam, sure.
Well, but traffic
there's
cam,
isn't that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about I want to watch people.
Yeah,
but
you want,
is
like,
that an
volume.
infringement on privacy or something? Is that why you would think that would exist where I could just watch a stationary camera, which is watching people walk down the sidewalk?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are those cameras, like on streets and freeways and stuff like that.
But if it's a traffic cam, I'm just saying I don't think that's going to cut it for me watching cars go by. I think there's not going to be enough of a focus on the people.
They should put one in the state fair.
That would be
like a
so
live
cool.
street cam.
Yeah.
That'd be
But
sweet.
I would imagine, this is just, like I said already,
they
this
have
is
one.
just my guess. I would think that you can't do that because you're invading people's privacy.
I
Well,
think
if you're
you
in
can
public,
because you're in
there's
public, yeah.
there's certain
Okay,
rules.
I don't know.
I mean, you can have a camera. You can have as many cameras on your house as you want,
Okay.
pointed wherever.
I don't know these things. I'm just saying I get the draw to animals, but I'm much more drawn to the real animals these days, and that's us.
People are saying there's Mardi Gras cams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, lick me down. I'll have to look into all this stuff.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Stats are numbers are nerds, nerds are losers, therefore stats are losers.
But at the same
numbers
time,
are for the analytics.
When you get the ball in the end
pencil
zone,
pushers.
When you're getting the ball in the end zone,
the zit faces.
When you're getting the ball in the end zone, you're getting the stats.
And the 4 eyes.
It is what it is.
Sit faces. Haven't heard that one in a while.
See if I can get that correct. That was those Kelsey puke bags, but
Jason Kelsey, he doesn't like the statistics in sports.
Jason Kelsey's quote, on sports statistics. Stats are numbers. Points are also numbers, but points determine games and wins and losses. Stats are numbers. Numbers are nerds. Nerds are losers. Therefore, stats are also losers.
I love him. I really do.
Football tonight, Thursday night style. Tampa Bay, all right, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, But they're at Atlanta. You're probably still thinking, aren't you?
I'll watch.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No one watches Thursday night football.
Well, what else are you going to do on a Thursday
Yeah,
night?
exactly.
Al Michaels doesn't even watch Thursday night football.
Well, he watches it. He just hates it.
and he's usually drunk.
Yeah,
Al Michaels is a drunk?
No.
I don't know if he's drinking, but I could tell you could tell he's like, I just need a few more bucks, and then I can retire.
Here's why you don't watch Thursday night football, aside from the matchup tonight. Baseball. The series-deciding game between the Brewers and the, the Metropolitans. I didn't get you with that, did I?
No.
I'm talking to Josh. The adults are talking over here.
Well,
Ashley.
you raise a good point. Picture in picture.
I thought you were a baseball fan, Ashley. What do you mean, no?
I tapped
Now that the
out.
Twins are gone, you don't care?
Yeah, I haven't cared for like the last couple weeks. They made me really sad.
This is the best time for baseball.
Yeah, I don't know about you people. We're going to cover baseball when Randy Shaver joins us here. Football tonight. What did I miss? I mean, the big baseball story is we're done with the Houston Astros. Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful
cool.
thing.
Yeah, screw the Astros.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh, things might get emotional here in about a half hour, too, when we get Randy Shaver into the mix, because we're going to talk about Karl Anthony Towns' big farewell. He sent a big farewell letter out now that he's moving on to New York City, and it was touching. It was. I'm going to miss Karl a little bit. Till that first time Julius Randle just rocks the friggin' rim with a dunk. I'm going to forget all about Karl.
I'll say, oh, man, do you miss Karl? You'll be like, Karl who?
Yeah, I know. It sucks. I'm cold-blooded like that. We got to take a break. Josh's news is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
Baby S is giving me money-making moves in the room. Yeah. So I'm going to have one kid who's like, I want to just live in a box and do like artistic dancing and paint. Ocean's going to be like, it doesn't matter if I'm broke, Mom. I'm passionate about it. And Baby S is going to be the one that says passion doesn't pay bills, Ocean.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Heard it through Facebook or through a Facebook post that my mom sent me.
What we're asking for is more evidence. We're sure that kids there might have taken some video or had something else, and if they had that, to please submit it to us.
The principal of an Oklahoma high school was arrested after getting drunk at a school dance and groping girls on the dance floor. While students were doing the Dougie, Foxtrot, and Tango, the perverted principal was honking cha-chas and patting tangos. The former principal's behavior was reported while chaperoning the fall dance at a hotel in Tulsa. Several students and teachers reported his inappropriate behavior to the superintendent, who terminated the principal promptly. In a letter to parents, the superintendent expressed distress over the situation, saying it was upsetting any student would feel uncomfortable or unsafe around school employees, especially someone in a leadership role. The superintendent apologized to those affected and assured families the school is committed to regaining lost trust. The disgraced educator appeared in court Tuesday, pleading not guilty to public intoxication charges.
Dude's a weirdo.
Yeah.
That comes off kind of gross.
Yeah, it does.
A little bit.
Pleaded not guilty.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence that he is, but, they're going to do what they can to skirt that. That's pretty gross. The Brooklyn Park Police Department's asking for the public's help to find a suspect involved in a hit and run yesterday, which sadly left a girl injured.
Car came through, tried to stop, but then a lot of commotion going on. I thought it was a car crash, but you didn't hear no collision, and the little child was hit.
Police said a 12-year-old was hit by a car about 8:42 a.m. while trying to cross the street to reach her bus stop. The driver, a woman of unknown age, didn't stop and took off in a 2015 through 2019 Hyundai Sonata, which they believe is missing its passenger side rearview mirror.
It is a crime to not stop for a crash of that nature, especially, involving one of our youths that actually was waiting for a bus to get to school.
The girl, who the Plymouth middle school principal confirmed is a student at their school, was taken to the hospital with moderate injuries. Police are looking for the public's help. You can see a picture of that vehicle on 93x.com. A 79-year-old man and a 77-year-old woman watched their car slowly sink into Lake Minnetonka Monday after they accidentally left it in neutral. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources was called to rescue the situation and the couple's day. They'd been launching their boat when their car, trailer, and boat decided to take a little unscheduled trip down the ramp and right into the lake. An officer helped tow everything out of the water. Once back on dry land, he spotted a sunfish flopping around inside the car. And with perfect comedic timing, he asked the man, "Sir, may I see your fishing license?"
You son of a bitch.
The DNR didn't share the owner's response.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yet embarrassing.
Oh, I feel so bad for that couple.
Wildly embarrassing.
A furious Florida father was arrested after attacking deputies who contacted him to pick up his misbehaving child who was trespassing at a local retailer. Police responded Saturday to multiple reports of a group of juveniles causing disturbances inside a Walmart. The kids, all under 16, were seen riding bikes through the store, yelling, cursing at customers, and setting off car alarms.
Wow, sounds kind of old school, doesn't it, Josh?
Yeah, it's a little different then.
That's kind of what we did. We just roll up into a public place and cuss everybody out and, kick some things around. Yeah. I don't know. This kind of makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm. Deputies, the parent is what might change that. Deputies later found the group and contacted their parents. One parent, 34-year-old Jonah Harrington, clearly learned nothing from the old anti-drug commercial where the kid tells his dad, "I learned it from watching you."
Uh-oh.
As he was about to demonstrate a solid case of setting the wrong example. Harrington arrived at the scene and immediately confronted law enforcement. He ran up to a deputy and shoved him.
Oh.
When two other cops tried to detain him, he struck one officer and resisted the third effort to secure him in handcuffs.
See, this is where it went from the 80s to very 2024, didn't it, Josh?
Yeah, this is what you'd expect today.
Yes, this parent just couldn't stand the idea that their child was being treated anything other than perfectly.
Ignoring commands to cooperate, he tried to flee, but was quickly apprehended after a brief struggle.
You come there and escalate a calm situation by fighting and attacking and ultimately trying to run off, and then you get tackled and eventually in handcuffs right in front of your kids.
Sheriff Rick Staley commented on the incident, saying, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We asked parents to pick up their children because they were causing trouble. But this guy chose to attack our deputies instead."
What an idiot.
Yeah. That didn't work out well for him.
What's the problem? Your kid got in some trouble. It was your kid's fault. You can't handle that?
All the other parents handled it like a parent might.
It's amazing.
A 23-year-old Houston ER nurse found herself inside the middle of an unhappy meal after being viciously attacked at a Whataburger drive-thru over a minor fender bender. The incident began at the Whataburger when the nurse accidentally tapped the car in front of her. Doing the polite thing, she rolled down her window and asked if she hit the other vehicle and then quickly apologized, still unsure if there were any damage. Unfortunately, instead of getting "it's all good," she got supersized sides of fury from the other driver who wasn't in the mood for apologies. She jumped out, began yelling, and told the nurse to back the F up.
Back the up! You hit my car! No, go that way!
What
Huh?
What followed were some powerful punches, leaving the nurse bloody and bruised with a busted blood vessel in her eye, a swollen lip, and a face beaten harder than Wapple's wiener at a 65 and over lingerie party.
Whoa, that is beaten hard.
The assailant made a quick getaway before police could arrive, but they believe the angry Whataburger psycho lives nearby.
She lives nearby. I bet she does.
A 2-year-old had quite the adventure Sunday after getting briefly trapped inside an Amazon locker in Seattle. For those unfamiliar.
Yeah, what is it? What's an Amazon locker? And what's Seattle?
It's coming right here. Often found in public places like grocery stores, Amazon lockers are secure self-service kiosks where customers can pick up packages using a unique code. And in this case, someone expecting to pick up their package could have gotten the surprise of their life had they found the toddler locked inside. 911 started getting calls about 4:40 p.m. about the little one stuck inside the locker. The 2-year-old, who was playing with his sibling, somehow managed to get himself locked in. Thankfully, police said the toddler was freed without a scratch. How the kid got out is a bit of a mystery, but Amazon pointed out the lockers do come equipped with easy-to-see levers inside just in case someone gets locked in.
So it's like your trunk back in the day. You see the little glow-in-the-light handle thing.
Amazon released a statement which read, "We're really relieved the child is safe and are looking into exactly what happened. Our lockers are built with safety features, including internal levers and remote access teams."
I'll be.
I hadn't heard that before. Claw machine, sure, we've heard plenty of those.
I'm surprised it's taken this long.
A 72-year-old inmate walked away from a Massachusetts prison and went on the run for hours before finally being taken into custody. Like a scene from a Prison Break movie, Kevin O'Brien was last seen on prison grounds Tuesday morning before walking away to some nearby woods. When staff realized he hadn't returned by 11 a.m., a search began, leading to reverse 911 calls, warning residents not to approach him. His brief taste of freedom didn't last long, though. Just before 7 p.m., police confirmed O'Brien was found and taken into custody at a car dealership, bringing to an end his short-lived hiatus.
Kevin, what was your intention in leaving the facility?
Get my money.
Get what money?
Get my money in my credit union.
That was Kevin.
What's someone owes him some money?
That's what he said. He just wanted to run to the credit union real quick.
Oh. But dude, you're in prison.
You're not going to need
He was in prison, and now he's back in prison. Investigators filed an escape charge against O'Brien, and the Department of Corrections thanked law enforcement and the community for tips leading to his capture. A 32-year-old Minnesota inventor has created the world's first aerial-bound dog poop removal system, a gizmo that goes by many names, including the Poop Copter.
My name is Caleb, and this is the doo-doo drone. This is the Poo Pilot. This is the Feces Flinger 5000. This is the Poop Copter.
The Poop Copter can remotely patrol for doggy doo in specific areas defined by users, like a backyard or open field. The device then detects the mess in real time and picks it up.
The world's first aerial-bound dog poop removal system. It's fully self-guided. It's fully capable of removing poop from grass, and it's full of crap.
Hell yeah. Once the drone performs a precision landing on top of poop, it just rotates 30 degrees to close a mechanism picking the poop up.
The drone can spin fast enough in midair such that the mechanism will fling open, and you can sky dump on your neighbors or wherever you want to make that happen.
The inventor envisioned a van equipped with poop copters, which can go to target yards and patrol and clean them, bringing the poop back to the van for drop-off.
Patrolling, detecting, picking up, and dropping off is the Poop Copter at its core.
No details yet on when we might be able to buy one of our very own poop copters or how much they'll cost.
This sumbitch really works, huh, Cubby?
Yeah, I guess so. Fewer young people are having sex, but teens and young adults who are sexually active aren't using condoms as often or at all. According to a new report, 15 to 24-year-olds make up half of new chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis cases. And the report suggests the rise can be attributed to an uptick of lack of condom use.
I had gonorrhea.
Pleasure has
bring that back.
Pleasure has long been a reason people avoid spuzz mittens, but the recent decline in condom use is due to a few factors. Medical advancements like long-term birth control options, so people think, I don't need a condom.
Yep.
Or drugs that prevent sexually transmitted infections. Again, throw that condom away, they say. A reduced fear of HIV and inconsistent education, other factors. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says sausage raincoats are still an effective tool when used alongside new prevention methods and recommends you don't be silly, wrap that willy.
So young kids aren't wearing the rubbers.
Yeah, and apparently not having as much sex as, it's because of, the PlayStation 5 and
there's other stuff going on.
TikTok and things like that.
I don't understand the young people. I don't understand them, Josh.
Have you guys heard the story about the guy that walked into a pharmacy to buy a pack of condoms?
Give it to me. No.
So he goes over to the display, picked up a package of 3, and asked the pharmacist, "Why are there 3 in this package?" The pharmacist replies, "Those are for college guys. 1 for Friday, 1 for Saturday, and 1 for Sunday." Then he notices a 6-pack and said, "Well, who are these for?" "Those are for single men," the pharmacist answered. 2 for Friday, 2 for Saturday, and 2 for Sunday. "Then who uses these?" the man asked, picking up a pack of 12. With a sigh and a tear in his eye, the pharmacist replies, "Those are for married men. 1 for January, 1 for February, 1 for March." As open enrollment season kicks off, many companies are encouraging employees to review and select their benefits for the upcoming year.
Oh, Christ.
We're supposed to do that here. You know that, right?
When?
Next Monday.
By next Monday?
Yes. No, you start on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yet for many, the process of navigating insurance options feels more overwhelming than ever, with some Americans saying they'd prefer to deal with some everyday annoyances for life rather than face the complexities of enrollment each year.
Oh, okay.
A new survey shows Americans would rather deal with endless traffic every single time they get behind the wheel than navigate insurance options.
Whoa, that's drastic. Yeah. Let's calm down here.
Besides traffic, people said they'd prefer moving back in with their parents, attending a concert of an artist they dislike, or even listening to the same song on repeat for a year.
Are these people okay? Is it really that hard?
The study, commissioned by User Testing and conducted by Talker Research, focused on the challenges people face as insurance enrollment moves online. Yeah, I mean, it's not fun, but you can get it over with.
It's like a 15-minute process.
Yeah, it's never taken me longer than, 15, 30 minutes.
Now streaming on Max, Salem's Lot, the latest version of Stephen King's 1975 novel of the same name. An author returns to his childhood home of Jerusalem's Lot in search of inspiration for his next book, only to discover his hometown is being preyed upon by a bloodthirsty vampire. Law & Order and Law & Order SVU both return to NBC tonight with new seasons. Then a couple things on Prime, Thursday Night Football with Atlanta hosting Tampa Bay, as well as the second season finale of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Text Circus, C-I-R-C-U-S, Circus, to the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, 651-989-9393, for a chance to see the 93X Skillet and Seether show Sunday, October 20th at the Armory. Check out 93x.com to get a 4-pack of tickets for $93. Quite a bargain. Again, the word is Circus, 651-989-9393, prize provided by our friends at Live Nation. Stifler in the American Pie movies, Sean William Scott's 48 today. Nev Campbell turns 51. Former Twin and Baseball Hall of Famer Dave Winfield, 73. Oh, Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee, 62.
Is he 62 now?
62. Almost forgot that one. Happy belated birthday to Quentin from Only One Jesus and It's Not Me Jesus. Happy 23rd to Tony from Mom, Sassmaster Jesus, Haul in Your Wood Jesus, and family. Happy birthday to Jody in Shoreview, turning 47 today, and that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver. Traumatized, but physically unharmed.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
And that'll do it. The Motown magic continues. The Tigers sweep the Astros 5-2, and they will move to the American League Division Series.
Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
Yeah, arrogant bastard. The Detroit Tigers have upped and rid the world for now of the Houston Astros.
They certainly have. Thank goodness.
We thank them for that. We do.
Wow. Wouldn't it be just crazy to be in Detroit right now?
Yeah.
How much fun would that be when you consider they were 8 games under 500? Like the middle of August. Mm-hmm. And they were 10 games out, and they were sellers
at the trading deadline.
Now you're speaking my language. I'm like the kind of guy who likes to talk about the trade deadline. You know that. And you're right. They were sellers.
I'm just saying.
They thought they were done.
That's right. They thought they were cooked. And all of a sudden, they just start playing and winning, and it just becomes contagious. It reminds me a lot of the Twins late in 87 and late in 91, and just how everybody just... I can remember Tom Kelly telling me about what it was like in August and September in 87 at the Metrodome. Mm-hmm. And you could just feel every home series. You could just feel the momentum. You could just feel the buzz of baseball in the Metrodome, which, of course, had never been there before.
Right.
And I'm sure Detroit was probably 10 times that just because of how far back they came to end up making the postseason. It's amazing. It's
I'm
a great
sure they're
story.
having a wild time in Detroit, Michigan. And if you want to get specific about the 87 Twins, I remember very vividly a late season series against the Kansas City Royals, who was, I believe, if you can look this up if you like, I believe the Royals finished in second place in the American League West that year. And it was kind of that defining moment late in the regular season where the Twins whooped up on the Royals, and that's when I think it dawned on everybody here in town, hey, this team really can accomplish something this year. And then, of course, we all know what happened from there. But it was a late season series against the Royals where I think even nonchalant baseball fans here in town said, okay, this is a real thing.
I don't have the numbers in my head or in front of me, but in 87, the Twins were not a very good road team. They had struggled on the road, but at home they were a juggernaut.
Oh yeah,
and both in 87 and 91, they won the World Series. They lost all the road games, but won all the home games in the World Series, and that's how they were able to win 4-3 against St. Louis and Atlanta. I'm not saying Detroit's not. It looks like Detroit can win anywhere because of the way they're playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Twins did that too in order to make it to the World Series both years. But it certainly is a lot of fun. It just brings back memories for me.
Vibes, Randy. They're called vibes.
When I watch Detroit and I watch their fans and I listen to how excited they are, it just reminds me a lot of the Twins teams back in those 2 years.
Yesterday's game between the Tigers and the Astros, tie game, top of 8, if I'm not mistaken, and the kid comes up and hits a bases-clearing double. Bases loaded, he clears the bases. And they went bananas. That was a lot of fun. They've killed the dragon, or whatever slogan you want to throw in there, because the Houston Astros, for the first time since 2000+16, will not be going to the American League Championship Series.
That stat is just so crazy to me.
And we have the Detroit Tigers to thank for it. I sure wish it would have been the Twins who could have eliminated them the way the Tigers did yesterday. But 8 years in a row, am I doing the correct arithmetic?
Yep.
Son of a bitch. And the Astros had won 47 straight playoff games when leading after 7 innings. Not yesterday.
That's a crazy stat.
Wow.
And that was a great game.
Couple that with how Kansas City beat Baltimore in 2 games in Baltimore with a pitching staff that just absolutely shut down the Orioles lineup. Their bullpen yesterday was phenomenal. Kansas City is moving on too. It's just
after allowing only 1 run in 2 games to the Baltimore Orioles.
Yes.
The Royals now meet with the friggin' New York Yankees.
The Orioles are starting to get this reputation of we have a great regular season and we can't find a way to get out of the playoffs.
Right, you're right.
We can't find a way even to get out of the wild card round. So
the Detroit Tigers will now move on to face their familiar divisional pal, the Cleveland Guardians.
Yes.
Otherwise, the San Diego Padres have eliminated the Atlanta Braves. They now face their arch rival, the Los Angeles Dodgers. That ought to be something to see. Dodgers and Giants, I know that's the more bitter, that's the more hateful rivalry, but there's plenty to be said between Padres fans and Dodgers fans. So that's a cool matchup. Milwaukee dramatically beat the New York Metropolitans last night by a couple of runs, so there will be a series-deciding game between those two clubs tonight, 6 o'clock. The winner gets the Philadelphia Phillies.
Well, and I even like to add on to the Detroit stuff. I mean, the Detroit Lions are doing good, too. The town's just going mental. They got two good teams this time of year.
And then and then about a month they turn on the Pistons and go, well, all right, we're not
forgot
perfect.
about these guys.
So it's not a perfect situation.
Yeah, but when you consider how dismal sports has been in Detroit, normally this time of year.
Everything is dismal in Detroit.
But not necessarily, though.
No, I have a friend who absolutely loves the city of Detroit, goes there every year for when the Vikings travel to Detroit. A good buddy of mine, Lanahan, he goes there every year, and he says, don't believe the hype. Detroit has become a really nice city to visit. I haven't been there since 1996.
Yeah, but when you think about September and October, the Tigers are not very good, and thank goodness the baseball season's over. The Lions are not very good. It just seems like the fall is just like a brutal time. Unless you're going to Michigan games, the fall is like a brutal time in Michigan. But now,
you're right.
I mean, the Tigers are in the ALDS, and the Lions are 3-1 and a really good football team.
These are happy days in Detroit, Michigan. They haven't seen a lot of those. They haven't seen a lot of those over the years. They really haven't. Did anyone else get a kick out of this? Now, come on, Brewers. Come on, Milwaukee Brewers. Eliminate the friggin' Mets tonight. Don't do this to us. Don't let a New York team squeak by. For Christ's sake, can't we count on you Wisconsin people for anything? Please. We're asking nicely. Beat the Mets tonight, and don't let a New York Did you guys get a kick out of this last night? One of our favorite athletes, Pete Alonso, couldn't beat out a double play because he tripped over his bat coming out of the batter's box like a friggin' little leaguer.
That's up on 93X.
That was funny.
Once in a while, even the big leaguers, you gotta watch the bat.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, self-inflicted there. He tripped himself, and sure is not too happy about it.
Big dumb bastard steps on his bat like a... What did he say?
I'm a big guy. I'm a big, strong guy.
I know you are, yeah. Massive. Yeah, a friend of mine goes to Detroit every year and loves it. I don't know.
Well, they have casinos downtown in Detroit,
and that's
too.
a big part of it for him.
Yeah, I mean...
Yes, it is.
For people that don't know, they have gambling in Michigan, and especially downtown Detroit.
That's a big part for Lanahan.
Yeah.
He likes to play a little cards, little this and that, pull some slots. All right, speaking of that upcoming Dodgers-Padres series, Randy Shaver, you can put it back in your pants. Go ahead.
It was never out, but yes, okay.
Shohei Ohtani is not expected to pitch in the playoffs, so you can put that erection back in your...
All right, well,
Save it for something else.
It'll live for another day then.
There'll be something else.
Don't waste one.
Yeah. You never know how many you have left. You hit a certain age and you start to wonder, should I hold on to this?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's like one of those. It's like the bouncer has that clicker in his hand. Randy's just like click.
That clicker is rusted over.
Maybe we need one of those Kirk Cousins death rock containers. We just pull a rock out each time, see where we're at.
That reminds me of that joke where the guy comes home from a visit to the doctor's office, and he walks in the door. He's got kind of a somber look on his face, and his wife says, "What's the problem?" He says, "Well, the doctor checked me out, and he said I've only got 10 orgasms left for the rest of my life." And the wife says, "Well, we better make a list." And he says, "I already did, and you're not on it." All right, speaking of Shohei Ski, and we'll get to him a little later, too, here in a minute, but A second person has now filed a lawsuit claiming ownership of his 50-50 baseball from a couple weeks ago there at Miami's ballpark, where he hit the 50 home run mark and he hit the 50 stolen base mark. The 50th home run ball that went into the bleachers. We've got now 3 people fighting over ownership of this baseball. What a friggin' mess.
Yeah.
How?
Oh, my gosh. I saw this coming.
Because one guy had a hand on it, but then another guy bent his arm, and the other guy says, well, I had a hand on it, but then he twisted my leg, and you know what I'm saying?
This
Waffle.
is going to become the when people trying to describe the process of a catch in football.
Oh, right.
Well, did he make a football move? Did he have control? Now, when it hit the ground, was he bobbling it?
Right.
Did they not get it authenticated when they left the ballpark?
Well, the ball's authenticated.
They know the ball is
It's a matter of who
right.
rightful possession.
They know it's the correct baseball. They just don't. They're having this fight over who rightfully. So there's the guy who walked out of the ballpark with the ball. And now I believe 2 other sumbitches who have also claimed ownership of the ball. One guy says the ball got pried out of his hands or whatever. So the bidding for the baseball, because this is the next big step, the owner of the ball right now, if he ends up being the rightful owner, he's going to put it up into that golden auction setup. The bid right now is $1.4 some odd million, but because of these lawsuits, the ball can't formally be sold until a hearing, and that's scheduled for October 10th, so that's a week away. Maybe there'll be a final word on who owns the baseball.
What a mess.
What if Ohtani buys it?
Pardon me?
Ohtani buys it back. All right, that's mine.
He's got the money for it, doesn't he?
Yeah,
sure does.
Oh, yeah.
Guy probably farts $1.46 million. Now, here's more of the, as Mr. T used to say, Josh, here's more of the jibber-jabber going on with this story. I don't know which fan this is that's complaining. But one of the complaints is a fan wrongfully jumped over the railing into a section where he did not have a ticket to be in.
Oh my
you see,
God.
that's how technical they're getting with this.
Right.
Well, he jumped over to this section. But his ticket stub says he was supposed to be in the other section. Attacked me. Attacked the baseball. Also, I like that. He attacked me, and he attacked the baseball. The ball came loose, rolled out of my hands. This and that. One of the dudes involved is looking for $50,000 in damages if he does not end up being the rightful owner of the baseball.
So another lawsuit.
What a bunch of I was going to say screwballs, but I didn't want to make it seem like I was making an intentional pun. What a bunch of morons we have here, but with all that money, right, Josh?
That's the thing, right? I mean,
yep.
Well, the longer this drags out, the value of the ball is going to go down because you always want to strike, right away with things like this when people are hyped up about it. And then when you add in all the legal fees these guys are going to pay, they're just losing money by the day.
Well, it could be one of those things where the lawyer says, hey, I'm going to, okay, I did it. I didn't mean to say go to bat for you. And they're just going to take a cut, right? Mm-hmm. That's how some of those things work.
I don't know. What do you think? You're saying you don't think the ball is going to go for as much money as it could have because of this?
I think it will.
Yeah, I don't think that'll change.
No, I think that the baseball is going to be insanely expensive no matter what these morons are doing to each other in court.
Yeah.
The Twins let some more coaches go, Randy. You were on the list.
I'm not surprised.
They don't want your help anymore either.
Well, I don't blame them.
I feel bad for these fellas, Hitting coach Rudy Hernandez. It says here he's been with the Twins organization since 1996, and he's gone because they couldn't hit the ball in the last couple months of the season. Randy's smoking pot.
Too big of a hit.
Assistant hitting coach Derek Shaman, assistant infield coach Tony Diaz. Of course, we talked about David Popkins yesterday. So they continue to clean house here, Randy.
Not surprised.
No. Hell, the Miami Marlins gassed their entire coaching staff. They got rid of the manager, Skip Schumacher, a couple days ago, and they told everyone else, don't come back. Pretty serious stuff. All right. Pete Rose passed on a few days ago. And this is something that I had forgotten about. until I saw an article this morning. He was kind of infamous for, well, first off, Randy Shaver, do you have any Pete Rose autographed memorabilia?
I do not. I did meet the man in Vegas when he was doing one of his signing shows. And when I say meet the man, just said hello.
Yeah.
But he used to do some of his signing shows in the mall between Mandalay and the Luxor, in one of the shops there. So, I've seen him as part of his signing stuff, but I do not have any. I wish I did, but I do not have any memory.
I got an autograph photo at exactly where Randy was talking about when I was in Vegas once.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yep.
very nice guy. Very nice. I was the only one there, because he kind of just hangs out all day. It's not like
He does.
Come meet Pete Rose. There's a line or anything. So
and Pete Rose is in Vegas. He's there for the long haul.
Well,
You know what I mean?
He lives there.
Yeah.
And so he would. That's part of his job. He would just go there for like 4 hours, like every other day, and just sit and sign memorabilia, and meet people, and that kind of thing.
Okay, well, so he signed something for you, Dana?
yeah, I got an autograph photo.
Did he write a smart-ass message in there?
No, you could pay him extra if you wanted him to write like I admit I bet on baseball and stuff like that. But
You had to pay extra for that. Okay, this is where I was going with this. What I had forgotten is that he was kind of infamous for writing smart-ass comments when he would autograph a baseball for you or a ball cap. I didn't know that you had to pay him extra. Maybe in a lot of these situations, people got these little messages for free. I'm not sure one way or the other on that, but he had a good sense of humor, and he would write little cute things on the baseball other than his signature. And a website had some evidence of that. Of course, his most common message is he would write, "Sorry, I bet on baseball," Pete Rose. That's what he would write on you. One other common remark he would make, he would write, "I wish I were in the Hall of Fame," which is kind of sad, I guess. When you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make anybody sad.
Do you have the one in front of you where that kind of complimented the "I'm sorry, I bet on baseball"?
Well, here's what I have. Tell me which one you're thinking of, John.
It's similar.
Here are some other examples of smart-ass comments that Pete Rose would write on memorabilia for fans. If you build it, he will come. Pete Rose. One of my favorites was someone presented him with a photo of he and his former teammate Tony Perez. This photo looks like it was maybe taken in the mid to late 70s. The two of them are sitting side by side in a men's room in stalls with no doors. Randy Shaver came from the 70s. He remembers men's rooms with stalls with no doors.
I do.
Yes. So here he is sitting side by side with Tony Perez. They're each in their own stall, taking a deuce. Tony Perez is totally naked, of course, just for the record. And Rose was presented this picture, and he autographed it. Pete Rose, not the hit king, but the king. That's clever. And look how much fun the two of them are having, John.
Yeah.
I guess they might have duked side by side every day. Maybe it was a regular thing for him after practice. Some of these are really great, and obviously this is one he signed recently. Here's a baseball signed by Pete Rose where he also wrote the message, "Otani is sorry too."
Oh, that's good.
That's the one that was saying, related to the "sorry, I bet on baseball." Otani, sorry also.
Because there's still a few of us that think that damn thing was a little fishy.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Was that a fart?
What was that?
That was my chair. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
My grandpa used to say that too.
Yeah.
My dad would say it was a goose.
Pete Rose. Here's an autographed baseball from Pete Rose where he wrote, "Hits 4,256. Steroids 0.
That's funny.
Poking fun at some of the boys who...
I would be curious to know how much his memorabilia that he has signed is worth now that he's gone.
Yeah,
and
I
I wonder if the value of that, I'm sure in each passing year, the value will probably go up even more just because he's not signing anymore. And there's, limited number out there.
Those chairs are out of control.
What was that?
Randy, anytime someone checks out, doesn't it instantly go up in value?
It does, for sure. But I'm just curious because he did sign quite a bit of stuff.
I don't think there's anybody that's ever signed more autographs than Pete Rose.
Oh, I think so. Tony Oliva. I think Tony Oliva signed.
Oh, but Tony Oliva didn't sit in Vegas and just sign pay for people.
No. But I'm just saying Tony Oliva never turned down anybody who wanted a signature.
Well, Pete Rose was doing it for a living,
True. Well,
every
he had
card
to.
show in the U.S. he's been to.
Yeah.
Here are 3 more smart mouth comments that Pete Rose added to an autographed baseball. I'm sorry I broke up the Beatles. I'm sorry I shot JFK. And I wish I shot Bin Laden.
Yeah, he was busy that day. He had an autograph show. He couldn't make it with the Navy SEALs.
Speaking of all this stuff, now I got a text message here from a listener named Mary. And she says, any idea what a signed Kirby Puckett ball would go for? My cousin has one and wants to sell it. Again, the man is gone. So that always adds value, but I don't think you're going to break the bank with a turkey bucket baseball.
I don't know. He's a Hall of Fame guy,
right?
So that adds to it.
Yeah.
The difference is that he did not sign HOF on the ball. Or maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe he did for the person who has it. What's going on?
Well, it's that gimmick where your microphone is popping like it's an Alex Van Halen drum solo. It's okay. We know you have no control over it, but it sounds like you're being beaten to death. You're fine now. You're fine.
So an autographed Kirby Puckett baseball looks like it's going around $400, but I do see one online where he did sign HOF. And that's going for $1,500.
See, that makes a big difference when you get the person to sign HOF on the baseball or the football or whatever it is. The value of it goes up, and especially, I hate to say it, when the person passes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I read recently there was a Brooks Robinson ball or bat or something that was signed that when Brooks Robinson passed. That somebody went to sell it, and the value is kind of like what you're talking about, Wapple. The value of it was almost double because he had passed. So collectors will know a lot more about that than I will, but it just seems like the value of those things goes up quite a bit. I have a Puckett signed baseball that is it's a game. Or not a game ball, but it was a spring training ball that's completely scuffed and dirty and everything. And Kirby signed for me. And the thing about Kirby is that it's not that you can't read it, but it is, there's a lot of, I don't know how to describe it, a lot of like curves in his signature.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a wave.
It's not easily identifiable.
It's not, but you know it's his.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's a scribble that you can't tell, because a lot of players just scribble.
Yes,
which drove Harmon Killebrew crazy.
Right.
And I have a Harmon ball, and you can read it perfect. So
he was very specific about that. Very meticulous.
He's
a beautiful man.
Many conversations with Harmon Killebrew about signatures.
So here's the thing, and I know very little about sports memorabilia and what it's worth. I don't get into that scene. There's some real psychos involved in that friggin' scene, collecting sports memorabilia and making money off of it. I think it's a sleazy operation half the time. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
These friggin'...
We worked with a guy that was kind of obsessed with
Oh,
that.
God. One of the first dude I worked with in radio was a sick man. He had a 2-bedroom apartment simply so one room could house all of his memorabilia. And he was like a little kid. He'd go chasing these athletes and movie stars around. It was...
When I first started, he would send some of us, when we go out on promotions and stuff, he would send us out and ask to us to get autographs for him.
It was just gross behavior, especially by a grown person. But anyway.
It was an obsession for sure.
Yeah. I know very, very little about it. I don't get involved. But if you're brand new to it, what you should know is don't get your expectations up. Don't get your hopes up. A lot of this stuff isn't nearly worth what you might hope it to be. That's what I have learned.
Well, I think a lot of people there's two different types of people. There's people who collect for the monetary value of that. And there are people who collect it for the sentimental value.
Yeah.
Because they cared about that player.
Right.
Like, for example, I have Santo, Tarkenton, and Jerry West autographed photos in my office here. I would never sell them. They probably don't mean much to anybody else, but to me, that's sentimental value.
Oh,
because
Randy, absolutely. And
those were the players that I grew up idolizing.
I have the same situation. On a wall in my home, I'd never sell them, but I have autographs from Lawler, Heenan, Flair, and Jericho.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd never sell them to anybody. And I hope folks know when I'm lighting these autographed people up, I'm referencing the ones who were doing it for money. Certainly not the ones who were doing it for sentimental
You're talking
purposes.
about the ones that would get pissed if they put their name on it, right?
Right.
Yep. They don't want it personalized so they can sell it.
Stop shoving little kids into the line to get your autograph for you.
Oh, yeah, they figured that one out.
Or having the kids do it for you.
Yeah,
they would hire kids. They hire kids to do that.
Oh, hire them, pay them.
They pay them to go to spring training and get signatures. Yes.
Tell you what, when I was 14 years old, if you would have given me a case of beer in return, I would have gotten in line for you.
Have you guys seen the WWE collectibles or whatever? I forgot what they call it, but basically they take these old wrestlers like Mick Foley and they'll travel around the country and try to find old gear and stuff like that was really big for wrestling times.
Oh, I like that TV show. There's like a Netflix show. Or one. Yeah, I've seen one of those.
Yeah, so these collectible people are insane. They'll have like Ric Flair's the robe and stuff like that. It's worth like $10,000, and they won't give it back to Ric Flair unless if they have like Lita come and give him a kiss or spend the day.
You have to put me in a no DQ match with Braun Strowman. Then I'll give you my...
What, dude?
No, they're sleazy. Like I said, it's just a lot of them are sleazy people.
Yeah, and like their downstairs basement, they have like mannequins with the person wearing the gear. And it's insane.
What?
I'll never forget when Bobby the Brain Heenan visited our radio show, and he was dying, and it was obvious that he was dying. And, boy, he was such a funny, entertaining guy. He was brilliant. And I'll never forget this. I said to Bobby Heenan, I said, you know what? You brought a lot of joy to my life over a lot of years, Brain, and I love you. And you know what he said back to me? I'll never forget it. He said, don't mention it, kid. What a pimp. Don't mention it, kid, he says. That's what the Brain said to me. All right, you dirty bastards. I don't know. This is one of those deals where I kind of didn't want to bring it up, but I'm going to do it anyway. NFL players were polled, and they were asked if they're bothered by Taylor Swift becoming such a big part of the NFL, and the majority of them said no, they like her. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Okay.
I thought more would have been annoying. It was overwhelming. They were saying that they liked her.
They like her.
I think they're worried about her fans coming after them.
Good,
exactly.
Well, it was anonymous, but you're worried that maybe somebody will dox them or
someone will
something?
leak it or something.
Disgusting Ohio State University. They've got a new bacon vending machine at their football stadium.
Don't you mean the Ohio State?
Now, this is cute and everything. This is cute that they've got a bacon vending machine at their football stadium, but where was this idea 20 years ago when that massive hipster movement took place where young dudes everywhere suddenly dressed up like they were enlisting in the Civil War and they all ate bacon and they all drank Pabst Blue Ribbon beer?
Yeah, that was huge. At the same time, right?
And don't misunderstand. Don't misunderstand me. You know, who doesn't like bacon, right? And I enjoy Pabst beer just like the next guy. But when the hipster movement happened, suddenly 21-year-old kids were acting like they invented bacon and PBR, and it was really obnoxious, especially when that kid would ride up to the bar on an old-timey unicycle, and they had a monocle on one eye and a jar of mustache wax in the breast pocket of the tweed jacket that their great-grandfather wore on the Titanic. Wasn't that just the oddest, most obnoxious movement, Josh? And it didn't last long.
A lot of those movements, especially if you do love bacon or something like that, it kind of ruins it a little bit.
It did.
And all the products that came along with it was bacon-scented candles, bacon-scented lube, bacon-scented everything.
Yeah. Got a little weird. It got out of hand.
What?
I said what I said.
Wow.
You don't go the places.
Bacon-scented lube.
You just have dogs chasing.
Well, here's
my gosh.
What's ironic about bacon-scented lube is that if you don't use lube, it ends up smelling like bacon anyway. So,
okay, I just looked it up. It does exist.
So, Ohio State kind of missed the boat. If they would have had the bacon vending machine back when the hipster movement happened 20 years ago, they would have really made some money. So, it still kind of surprised me. Overall, if you look at comments on that godless, soulless, evil, world-destroying social media, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Social media. If you look at the comments, the fans are not, they don't care. They're making fun of it. I thought that maybe there'd still be that segment of society that wanted to claim bacon, right? But no, they're all saying, here's one fan that says, we want better scoreboards, bathrooms, lights, sound system, maybe some new turf, but we get a bacon vending machine.
Maybe that's how they're raising funds. I'd get something out of a bacon vending machine.
Well, sure, I would too. I don't know this, but the vibe I'm getting from Ohio State football fans, who I'm sure are terrible people, the vibe is that the building they play in, that's not what you call it, you don't call it a building, the stadium that they're playing in is falling apart. So they're all saying...
The horseshoe?
The horseshoe, Randy. That's what the fans are saying. They're saying the place is a trash heap, but the school comes up with a bacon vending machine? So I guess you have to be there to fully understand, but I guess they're saying this is silly. Spend money on something that we need around here.
Can I share the cute name for the bacon-flavored lube I found online?
Please.
It's got to be called, like, Slippery Pig or something.
It's called the Wet Boink and Oink Bacon-Flavored Lubricant.
Boink and oink.
They could have used an editor.
Oh, my God.
I think. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, they're close.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're awful close.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Too much in one name.
There is such a thing as overdoing it.
So in this bacon vending machine, do they have like different brands of bacon, different styles, like Applewood smoked bacon?
Wappa, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Hormel,
How much time do you think I really wanted to put into this? You're asking the wrong guy. There's no way I was going to put that much time into this subject.
It didn't really say.
Coming soon, the egg vending machine, right next door.
I'll pass on that one, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of flavors they got in there, Wapple. But those were fun times when suddenly, and I'm talking about the hipster PBR and bacon movement. Those were fun times to see, like a 22-year-old kid dressed like he was in the Revolutionary War. And there he was with his plate of bacon and Pabst Blue Ribbon. Remember the long beard movement?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's finally gone.
It's mustaches.
Yeah, it's all about
well,
that.
now the stupid Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
But was this like a decade ago or so? The young fellas all wanted to grow a beard down to their belly buttons. And some of you might say it was inspired by Duck Dynasty, sure. Never saw it personally.
I think that's kind of what got it going.
But that was a real thing, and it went on for way too long. But did I ever tell you about my older buddy who hasn't worked for years? Luckily, his wife has a job. He just sits in a garage day after day after day for years. We're up to decades now, okay? And he just drinks beer and smokes cigarette in his garage all day, every day, never leaves. That's what he does. And one day, he was finally talked into leaving his garage and going to a bar, something that he used to love, but he stopped doing. Again, he just wanted to be this garage hermit who got drunk and smoked cigarettes all day. And this was during the big beard movement. And maybe you had to be there. But he was taken out to a public bar, and he was totally thrown by seeing all these 22-year-old guys with beards down to their belly buttons. It was kind of like, what's that movie, Encino Man? Or name any movie where someone, fish out of water is brought into a situation they're not familiar with. So this friend of mine, who was totally unaware of the long beard movement, was walking up to these young guys and pulling on their beards to see if they were real.
Oh, my God.
And he was saying, this is the kind of guy he is. He's not afraid to talk to anybody because he's out of his mind. But he's walking up to these strange kids going, what are you doing? And the kids the kid's looking behind him like, who are you talking to? And my buddy's like, what are you, a roadie or something? What's with the beard? Why are you doing that? It's ridiculous. What's wrong with you? He had no idea.
What a weirdo.
Well, yeah. Did you not hear how I explained his life?
But still, jeez.
What is this? What's with the beards? You guys tell me, is he a former pro golfer or is he... Oh, no, he still is a pro golfer. John Daly, apparently his house down there in Florida got sucked up by that hurricane last week.
That's awful. Yeah, him and a lot of other people.
A lot of Hooters T-shirts and coffee mugs sprayed all over town, I would imagine.
Where is he taking his Hooters RV now?
I'd imagine he probably has a couple other homes that he could, relax in while they rebuild this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too worried about him. He is more worried about other people. When he was asked about his house getting sucked up into the sky by this hurricane, he said, my heart goes out to everybody else, in the area. He's not worried about himself. He's a pretty measured guy, John Daly, at least when he's not hammered. He is competing in a tournament this weekend that has a $2.1 million prize. Now, that'll go a long ways towards building the house.
He's got one of those big beards going.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Bear Pigs owner, what's his name again? Kenny
Chesney?
Yes. Kenny Chesney. Kenny G.
Kenny G. Man, Bear Pigs owner Kenny G says he'll do whatever it takes to re-sign Kirill Kaprizov.
Well, he better hurry because Chicago wants him.
Do they really? I mean, we talked about. Oh, we don't know.
I'm making that up because we were joking the other day about he wanted to go play with Connor Bedard.
There was one writer in Chicago,
right,
who started that rumor and then kind of backpedaled when he was challenged on it. But no, I like the what's the word I'm looking for? I like the scenario or the. There's a word I'm missing.
Well, I like drama.
Well, once the Suter Parisi
narrative is the word I was trying to come up with. I like that narrative because it gets people panicking and anxious in town. Yeah.
Once the Suter Parisi contracts are behind them, which I believe this is the last year, right?
Well, but I heard there's a chance that maybe they'd extend that deal for another few years.
Yeah, at least for Suter.
Why? Once that's behind them, they'll have the money. All those
I'd like to see Parisi and Suter get paid a few more years. Just because again, for the very same reasons why I enjoy the Kaprizov going to Chicago stories, I like the stress and I like the anger and I like let's give Suter and Parisi another year of that money. Let's do it. Yeah, if Kaprizov leaves town, some of you are going to go full on sideways.
Oh yeah.
Now, Carl Anthony Towns posted a little tribute video online yesterday, Randy Shaver.
I saw it. It was great.
Now that he's gone off to New York City.
It's such a place where so much love is built, and that's the biggest thing that made me love Minneapolis so much was the fact that I stepped in here and I felt so much love towards me.
There is the number 1 overall pick, flushing it home for his first NBA bucket.
Carl posted that video, and then the Wolves posted a video for him.
Yep.
So somewhere in there, Carl said, 9 years ago, I arrived in Minnesota as a young man with a dream. Little did I know that this place would become my home and its people would become my family. Your love, support, and unwavering loyalty have fueled my journey and inspired me to be the best player that I could be. Thank you to my teammates, coaches, the entire Wolves organization, for the countless opportunities and experiences. I'll cherish the friendship I've made and the battles we fought together. To the incredible fans, your support has meant the world to me. It gave me strength on and off the court. I'll never forget it. You'll always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you for everything. Love, Cat.
So sweet.
I think that's very nice.
Classy.
Yep. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Mm-hmm. No, it's still a funny feeling to know that Cat has moved to a new ball club.
Yeah. So when I'm just looking at the Wolves schedule, when do they host New York? When does he come back?
I think it's in November, but someone could look that up.
Oh, really?
Look that up.
I think they're in New York in November.
Okay.
Nope, they host him December 19th.
Okay.
At Target Center.
Ooh.
Thursday night, December 19th.
Primetime game.
Fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
That'll be an expensive ticket, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting question here from Wrong Hole Jesus. Back to the Russian kid, Kaprizov. If he leaves for Chicago, do we treat him like Suter when he comes back to town? Yes, they will.
Yep.
Yes, they.
I'm sure they will. Yes.
Obviously, there's some side stories that could change that outcome, where if a bunch of newspapers write articles about how the Pigs ownership was cheap about it, and Kaprizov wanted to be here, but the Pigs didn't. Right. That could change it a little bit. But if just the news breaks that he wanted a few more bucks than the Wolves had in their than the Wild had in their pockets, then yes, they'll treat him like Ryan Suter, which is still just the funniest thing to me. That a couple years ago when the crowd was just filling their pants every time Suter touched the puck. And I know there are circumstances and this and that, but I mean, 6 months ago, you loved the guy, and that's part of the fun, isn't it? Those wild ranges of emotion and wild switches and loyalty to one player. And
we've seen that before.
Of course, it's nothing new.
Brett Favre showed up. I mean, people hated Brett Favre, and then when he was on our team, it was like, oh my God, we love the guy. So
never hated him.
You're right. Denied that you ever hated him.
Right. Oh, it was ridiculous. The hypocritical behaviors of some people when Brent came to town. Oh God, it was obscene. Fold shaver like a taco, Jesus. Ryan Suter's getting paid by 3 teams this season. Man, what a life.
Yeah.
Got a good agent.
What a life.
Well, yes, he does.
That's Russell Wilson, too. I mean, he's getting paid by the Denver Broncos not to play football for him.
And the Steelers are kind of doing the same thing.
Unlimited. I want to know his agent. God. That'd be great.
Is Russ,
he may not play a down all year. He may not.
But he's going to get $85 million.
It's just insane. It's just crazy.
Can I just have like a tiny bit? I just need a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's how you do it, everybody.
That's what we're looking for.
You get canned and you still get paid. And don't even start with Bobby Bonilla. Someone will bring up Bobby Bonilla. All right, Randy Shaver. That ought to do it.
All right.
Tomorrow morning, you and
Are
Brad.
we doing a dad fights tomorrow?
I don't think so.
We have something else.
I guess I don't know.
Something else planned.
Well, that's
okay.
But last time it kind of fell through, so we'll see.
We don't know.
Okay.
You'll be the first to know.
Stay on your toes.
But
stay frosty.
I'm sure I'll find out.
You and Brad Ryder will be the first to know. Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
We're going to get out of here. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
I thought I can just keep spending money, however, do this back of the envelope math if I just cover it by making more money. The 3 words that make me groan the loudest that broke people say is, I deserve it. I was saying it all the time. Well, I deserve a night out. I don't have any money, but I'll take my last dollars and do a night at a restaurant.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Man, what a crowd. You are a great crowd, and we thank you for listening to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Hey, this Kevin Hart effing character, he's coming to town in February, and he's not effing around. He's going to set up shop for a few days. He's just announced his 3rd live show at the Armory. This dude really has something special going, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. The first 2 sold out right away.
Why wouldn't he just move to, like, Target Center or XL where there's more people and make more money?
I'm not sure. I'm sure the people at the Armory appreciate you saying that first and foremost, but I suppose he likes to do a small... He's done all those, right?
I guess intimate, yeah.
It's not like Kevin Hart can just say, I'm coming to town, I want to play there. This is industry stuff. You don't understand. It's too much for me to explain it to you. He's coming to the Armory. What's wrong with the Armory?
Nothing.
This week, you with the mouth. You've really been... You've been
coming at
trouble.
folks.
Starting trouble with everybody.
Bring it.
Kev, baby. Wapple got an idea for you. Next time you come to town.
How come he doesn't just... Okay. If you have a cellular-powered telephone right now on our Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text BOOK, B-O-O-K. Text BOOK to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to Kevin Hart. He's calling it the Actin' My Age Tour, and this would be the 3rd show, February 23rd at the Armory. Tickets are on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. for you mere mortals. For you special people, here's your opportunity. Thank you, Live Nation, for providing that prize. I mean, he ought to have you just rolling in the aisles.
He can do that, that's for sure.
Okay, I have to say, the response right now on our text machine is off the charts.
I've never seen a contest like this. I agree. This is going... I've never seen texts come in this fast.
Never seen texts come in this fast. You must really love this Kevin Hart. I feel totally out of place. Well, I often do when it comes to hip, popular celebrities and movies and this and that. I feel even more out of place than normal because I'm certainly aware of who he is, but I had no idea that he was at this level of popularity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think the text machine just broke. Oh, here we go. It started again.
Keep trying. We'll get you. But, I mean, you're pumping us so hard right now, we're going to break.
I'm going to have a seizure. I got to stop looking at
Don't look at it, Cubby. Close your eyes.
I'm not kidding. That's insane. Thank you for listening, by the way.
It's just like when we go on those camping trips, Cubby. Just close your eyes.
Let whatever happens happen.
And brace yourself.
Don't say a friggin' word. Shut your mouth.
Really, honestly, I can't even explain how fast and furious people are texting in the word book right now to 68 or whatever the hell the number is.
651.
What? I mean, it doesn't matter anymore.
We're approaching 600 texts since we mentioned it a couple minutes ago.
Louise. Is this the most popular comic in the world today?
This is the
Kevin Hart.
Famous.
This is the biggest text response I think we've ever had for a contest.
All right. Wow. Cool. Josh, light of my life, let me ask you something. Out of 365 days in a year, how many of those days is there a crew of some sort on your property performing some type of service?
Well, we had
365 days in a year.
We bought what we thought was going to be your standard fixer-upper. We knew it had some issues. And then once we moved in and they were able to open up a couple things, we realized we bought the world's worst home.
That sucks, man.
So we had a lot of stuff fixed. And when you move in, you're like, oh, this is great. We're going to paint that wall. We're going to get some new carpet or whatever. None of that fun stuff we got to do. It was just repairing things. So we took a couple of years off to save up some money, but so when we first moved in, we had to have the immediate stuff repaired. Like our furnace, immediately, they had to shut it down and tell the city they can't use this furnace.
Oh, that's expensive.
Every appliance has gone out. We had to have all new windows, the back reframed, all kinds of water damage.
I have never met anybody in my life who has more projects going in their home than you. It seems as if it's every single day. So really honestly, estimate 365 days in a year. How many days of those 365 is there a crew of some sort on your property?
Well, when we moved in and we had to have all the repair, it was pretty much on and off for 2 years to get everything done.
God help us all.
And then we just started doing like I said, in between there, this would fail, that would fail. We'd have to have that fixed. So this year we just started doing something, like kind of the stuff you want to do when you first move in. But yeah, I couldn't really tell you. A couple months this year.
You have a lot of respect for the working man, blue-collar guys and gals that'll come in and do your electricity and how do you call it, sheetrock and your floors and your ceilings and your outdoors this and your indoors that.
The majority of my buddies are people that I met that way. Yeah, for sure. A lot in the trades.
You ever had anyone that came off a little shady in the process of doing a job over there?
At our last house, we did, to the point where we got interviewed by a cop.
No!
And this was the house we bought. Right before we closed, there's a big storm, right? A lot of hail damage, and the woman that lived there kind of set something up. And they set it up with a storm chaser, right? Somebody out of town. I mean, these guys were from out of the country even, right? They got set up and there was a lot of shady stuff going on. So yes, to answer your question, at our last house we had that happen.
You ever had any squabbles? See, you're a nice guy. You're the nicest guy in town. You ever had any squabble? You boys said you were going to fix the this, that. You didn't do anything to the this, that. You went with the this and that.
Never once, luckily.
Have you read some of these comments here? There's an article that came our way. Contractors talking about, here's where it pays. Maybe it pays not to get into any squabbles with the workers. Contractors talking about the disgusting things that they do to rude customers.
Oh,
yeah.
Many things.
When you're not looking.
Yeah. I had texted a buddy of mine, well, actually a couple of them, this article. And one of them, the one who's doing some stuff on our house right now, he got back to me. He said, yeah, we pooped in your walls.
No.
Don't be pooping in anybody's
That's
walls.
immediately what my mind went to, like pooping in a vent or pooping in the walls and then putting up the sheetrock.
They did draw a lot of genitalia on some of the stuff, which was pretty funny.
That is fun.
I took pictures of that. I should show you guys.
One of my buddies, he likes to put his name on something that he's doing. So if they put up drywall, he'll put up his name and then put up the drywall. So it's always behind there.
At both of the houses two of the houses I've lived at, I've taken down the drop tile ceiling and wrote my name on that and the date just in case somebody ever redoes it and they're like, oh, look at that, that's fun.
If you're a contractor or if you're one of these types who works in people's homes, text us 651-989-9393. The Kevin Hart storm is finally over. 651-989-9393. Have you had a customer? You don't have to give away your name or anything. We're not going to ruin your friggin' business. Have you had a customer that pissed you off and you got some kind of sideways revenge on them? Because that's what this article is all about. Now, I'm also the type of guy who will always hire someone to do a task in my home. Almost always. Either
pros.
Well, why wouldn't you have a pro do it? Yeah. Number one, I might not have any idea how to perform the task. Number two, I hate doing those types of things. I hate those tedious project painting and all that. So it's a combination of both. I love to go ahead and allow a professional to do a professional job. Hell yes. I hope that they've considered me a friendly client, because reading some of these little revenge tactics that a worker or a contractor has performed on someone they consider to be a bad customer or client, it's horrifying.
Have you ever heard of the dick tax?
Talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
You've heard of that, Ashley?
Yep.
Where a contractor, when they meet somebody they can tell is going to be a pain in the ass, they jack up the price and just to make it worth it. They're like, do I want to deal with this person? No. So hopefully they turn me down. But if not, they'll pay the dick tax and they'll still work on their place.
My dad's been doing that kind of stuff, like construction work his whole life. And so he would do that for a while. He owned his own business. And so he would do bids on jobs. And if he didn't want the job, he'd say it's going to cost an astronomical amount of money just so that they would say no. And he could be like, thank God I didn't get that job.
Here's a text message. Did you really think that Josh was going to say that someone was a bad worker on air? He's way too nice. Well, if it's someone from 5-10 years ago, why would you care?
Oh, yeah, I'd say if I had a bad experience.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I wouldn't say.
Hey, citing Jesus, I know Josh pretty well. Don't ever come between me and Josh.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Citing Jesus. Yes.
Does he suck at what he does?
Worst ever.
Yeah.
Citing Jesus.
I'd never hire the guy.
I'm surprised he's still in business.
Coming in between me and Josh like you know him better than I do. All right. This is how this all started. An electrician created an anonymous confession box on a job site where tradesmen and women could write in the things they've done to the homes of rude customers. And then it went Ebola on, how do you call that system again, TikTok. And a lot of the stories he can't even share. God dang.
A buddy of mine, it wasn't a revenge thing or whatever, but his dad was a contractor, and he would work for his... Now, he owns... My friend owns his own contracting company, but at the time, he worked for his dad's, and sometimes he'd be in there, when he was kind of a grunt cleaning stuff up after everybody left, and every once in a while, at an abandoned place, the urge might strike, and he would take care of that urge in an empty home.
Oh, no.
There's one detail I want to share so much, but I don't think I can.
We're talking about
I'll just tell you it involves sawdust. That's all I can say.
Wait, we're talking about a rub out?
We are, yes.
That's just not
sawdust.
Sawdust.
How possibly could sawdust come into play?
Well, like a landing zone.
Imagination.
Oh, no. Again, I hope everyone that I've hired over the years, I hope that you considered me to be a nice person. I'll tell you this much, I stay the hell out of the way. I'm not one of those types that hovers around. Oh, are you sure you want to do it? Hell no. I give them the run of the house. I say, hey, man, how you doing? Hope everything goes well, and I go find another room. I don't talk to them until the job is over, because I imagine they have a lot of douchebags who will bug them all day long and try to correct them as if, well, then why didn't you do it yourself?
Exactly.
I never know what to do when they're like, somebody just was over and they were like working on the furnace, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, do I stay down in like the living room where they can reach me, or
get the hell out of their way?
I needed to shower. I was like, this is way too stressful.
Josh, you tell me, because you know these people better than anyone else on planet Earth. You always have a crew at your house. Wouldn't you say that they prefer if you just leave them to their friggin' business?
It kind of depends. I mean, you can tell if they're a talker, right?
Yeah.
But I was gonna. Oh shoot! Now I was gonna say something about that. Crap.
I'll
come back to you.
It'll come back to you. So here are some of the stories that I can share. And this is, again, where workers, contractors are at your house.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just so we don't move too far away from it.
Word.
You were mentioning like people that hover. So a friend of mine was telling me they were building a guy a deck. And the guy's an engineer, right? And he kept telling him how he could do it if he wanted to. I know what I'm doing. I could do it. I just don't have the time.
The homeowner is an engineer.
Yes. And so he's saying all this stuff. They're like, okay, all right, that's cool. Do you want us to do it? Yeah. The guy measured every single board they cut.
Oh, no.
Every single. And my friend is a nice guy, but he said, I almost just cut his head off with the saw.
Come on.
Every board building this deck.
Why even hire somebody then?
That was his point. Like, if you want to if you got time to stand out here and measure the boards, just put it together yourself. Can you imagine keeping your cool through something like that?
That'd be difficult. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, what it reminds me of, though, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. When we had that one friggin' rock star in studio and his friggin' manager stood in here with us while we did the interview and made us pause the interview a couple times because the manager didn't like the way we asked the question to the rock star. Get out of here before I stab you to death.
Oh, that's awful.
Anyway, so these are...
That was stupid.
Contractors and workers taking a gig, then they find out their client is a prick, and they got their revenge in their own special way. Turds. Turds come into play.
It's always the turds.
I mean, if you're in that position, you're not gonna tear down a wall with a tool or set something on fire. What's an easy way to get revenge? Hell, I got one cooking, I got one on deck. I'm going to do something with it, right? So, homeowner refused to let the workers use their bathroom. So the dude ended up bagging up his turds, and he threw it in the walls, and then sheetrocked over it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what my buddy said he did to me.
He didn't bag him up for you, though, Josh. He just laid it right in there.
I thought it'd be a fun game for me to try and find it.
Oh, this is a bad one. Oh, and this resulted in some guys getting canned. They were working for a lady who was a pain in the ass, very, very rude. So the workers were drawing unflattering animations of this rude lady on the wall. And thinking, of course, they have time to cover it up. Just, there she is. And then eventually with time, they'd cover it up. But at one point, the boss walked through with the female client.
No.
She saw the drawings. They got fired.
They must have been pretty good at drawing.
Yeah.
Couldn't make out exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And, aside from just stories of revenge, putting turds in the walls and this and that, there's some happy stories, of the work crew discovering sex toys in unlikely places, having affairs with the married clients.
Hello.
Whoa.
And hot moms flashing while they were on the job.
When I landscaped and when I used to work on a mowing crew, you always hoped something like that would happen. Never any close. Not even like someone, sunbathing. I would have been happy just with some sunbathing, or even a little bit more risque if they're sunbathing and laying on their tummy, but the top is unstrapped in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been enough for me.
Wait just a minute.
Can't have tan lines.
To be specific by enough for me, I just mean I would have been happy to see that.
Yeah.
Not that it could have got
me
into sawdust.
We understand. That just would have been a pleasant little break in your day to see some skin.
Like that, that would stick with me.
Yeah.
So, workers, contractors, if you have a story, we're at 651-989-9393.
Half-assed morning show.
I thought I told you never to interrupt me while I'm working.
On 93X.
Oh, I'll tell you what, your average worker man or woman's, the folks who come to your house and fix this, build that, God bless you, because I'm not going to do it, either because I don't know how or because I don't have the patience for a great majority of it, Josh. I just snap. I do. I turn into a child at a mall not getting what he wants style temper tantrum. When I hate projects. I end up losing my cool and just spinning around screaming. Thank God for you people. I'll always give you a call. We had a conversation about workers, contractors. Sometimes be careful with these people, because sometimes if you piss them off or if you're hovering over them all day, giving them your little freaking expert opinion, if you short them the money they feel like they're owed, owed is how you say it, they'll get you.
It's the same thing with food service, right?
Yes.
I can't figure out people that are going to be rude to someone that can go someplace in the back and do whatever they want to your food.
It's a big mistake.
They'll get you.
They will.
Don't think you're special.
I mentioned earlier what I've heard referred to as the dick tax, where a contractor they might up the bid if they can tell you're going to be a pain in the ass. And take it or leave it type of thing, because if they're going to deal with it, they want the extra money. Juicy Jerky Jesus said he works in the trades and once had someone tell him, don't kill him, bill him.
There you go.
So our text message machine lit up with just some general adventures told to us by your hard-working sumbitch type of character. The type of folks who will come into your home and fix your this and that. Here are some of those adventures. Well, this was, one way to do it, and this is why I'm not going to be a smart mouth when I need help. Worker man says it was cold out, 10 below, working on a lady's furnace. She was very rude. I knew exactly what the problem was. I refused to fix it, and I left. Have fun, wrap up, get a blanket. Why would you be rude to that individual?
Guru Electrician Jesus said he used to do some side work, had a lady not pay him when the job was done. So he went in the middle of the night, pulled their electric meter so they had no power, and then threw it in a drainage pond behind their house.
Dude, I love that.
God, that kind of reminds me, it's somewhat related. Our engineer is awesome. I love our engineer. One of the most talented guys around, super funny. I just love being in his presence. And he's somebody, if you're on his bad side, you are in trouble.
He'll pull the plug on everything.
This guy's a legend. I mean, I wish we could share some of the stories. He's a legend. And people know him all over the country. He's a legend. But anyways, there was a guy here, big ego. He's popular DJ. And he was telling our engineer, you're nothing. I'm everything to this radio station. You can't affect a thing. You mean nothing. We could replace you in a second. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And he went back. I think I could tell this story. He pulled the plug to the radio station and shut the broadcast down.
Yeah.
And he came back. Badass. He's like, yeah, tell me again if I can affect the radio station.
He just turned everything off.
No, I mean, that guy, dude, I am so glad he's back. But I'm also terrified to ever piss him off by accident.
I always try to be as kind as I can to folks who are doing a project at my home. But also, I am paying these people, and I do expect them to have a certain level of professionalism. Is that a word, Josh?
Yeah.
And I know I told you this story recently. I had some work done in the basement, and it was hard work. First off, the two guys that showed up to do the job were dressed like they were going to a concert festival or something. Flip-flops and jean shorts. I'm like, that's the outfit you guys are going to... This is like a hard project. The kind of project where if you drop something, boy, you hope you're wearing a pair of work boots. These guys showed up like they were going to a Fish concert, right? Then they went down in the basement and turned on their boombox with the worst music you ever heard. And my friggin' wife actually had to go downstairs and say, shut up!
Oh, no. Was that loud?
Yeah.
Or was it just the music choice?
Well, it was both. Bad
if they
music
were playing Iron Maiden live in Rio?
I would have been fine with that. The wife might have still told them to shut up. But anyway, some more messages here from the worker man and the worker womans is how you say it. Well, this is adorable. Listen to this, Josh. There was a guy who would renovate bathrooms. And when he was all done, before he would, call the client in and say, job's done, he would always get into the bathtub and take a quick bath.
No.
That's adorable.
Just test the sumbitch out. Yay.
You know what? That'd be great. He's proud of his work. I'd bring in some rose petals, a candle for him.
The water is so warm.
Rubber ducky.
Yeah.
Before it was all done, he'd take a little test bath. Oh, no. Oh, this will be uncomfortable. Do you think he could keep a straight face through this one? So a guy was doing some work at a lady's house. When he was all done with his work, he had a little snacky snack. You know what he had? He had one of the, delicious, the Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, right?
I like those.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So he's chomping on an oatmeal cream pie and says, okay, here you go, lady. The job is done. And the lady walks by and says, I like cream pies. And it was a real battle to keep a straight face, but
I've been there so many times with like a contractor or something where they'll use a term like nipple or ball cock or something. I think, come on, dude, you're almost 50. Keep it together. Don't embarrass yourself. This is stupid.
something else we touched on is you're doing a job at somebody's house, and maybe, just maybe, someone in the house gets a little fresh with you, a little flirty. Maybe they show you a little skin. What a thrill. Here's a guy. He was installing windows in somebody's house, and the wife walks through the house in her bra and her underwears.
Well.
It's 9 a.m., and she says, "You want a beer?"
Oh.
He says he regrets not making a move.
I accidentally did that. I'm not sure if they saw anything, but when I was getting my my air conditioner replaced, I thought they only sent one guy, and he was outside. He had like this cute little tent set up. He was working on the air conditioner, and I'm like on the phone with my mom talking about him. Like she's like, "Oh, what does he look like?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. He looks like he does drugs. He kind of is dressing like, you know, my brother Nick," and talking about that. And out of nowhere, somebody comes up from the stairs down below, and I'm standing in my towel in the middle of my kitchen, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were in here." And he was like, "It is not your fault at all. You live here." I was like, "Yeah, that's true, but."
So you were saying terrible things about this guy, and he overheard all of it?
No, I was just like describing the person he was working with to my mom. So he probably went out there and was like, "Yeah, so the girl that owns the house, the girl inside the house is talking about you to somebody on the phone."
She's not saying good things about you.
And she's in a towel.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the fact that you said something like he looks like he's on drugs.
Yeah.
And you heard that because a buddy of mine was telling me not too long ago they're working on this woman's house. It's a relatively wealthy area. And she called him. She's on the phone. She's like, "Oh, hold on. I need to talk to the help."
No, don't do that.
So I call him the help all the time now.
Oh, you have to.
I can't
Disrespectful.
stop
I can see myself accidentally doing that.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change his contact information to the help. When he Up North Plumbing, she just said that don't worry about holding it together. We giggle like middle school boys every time a little joke on the job. Anytime you hear one of those. I mean, a friend of mine's a plumber, and he said that on caulk day, they have a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
When they're out there caulking everything, they have a lot of fun.
That one summer that I painted houses, that joke was made 50 times a day, and we laughed every time.
The caulk jokes?
Yeah.
Some of you folks who fix toilets, and this is what I've learned from the text messages that have come in this morning, some of you folks who plumb or fix toilets, drains, this and that, you found a lot of interesting things. You found a lot of interesting causes for clogs, some of it very disgusting, of course, but some of it big dildos stuck in pipes and down the toilet and whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of people have found some sexy stuff via text.
Sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Like lingerie?
Because what they were telling me is pretty unappealing.
Yeah, like a lot of porn. And I know I've mentioned this before, but a friend of mine, he's an electrician, and he had a camera up in this woman's ceiling, and she's right there. They were, and he's starting to show her kind of like, "Hey, we have to do this and that," and they're looking at this screen. He's got this camera up there, and he kind of turns a little bit, and there were all these VHS porns with like some really raunchy names, and he's a pervert, right? And he's sitting there going, "Well, I need to be professional," but luckily she was laughing her ass off at it. So it turned out they learned that the room that they were in was like a teenager's room from the people that lived there right before her. But this was like from the 70s, so that porn had been up there for 40-some years.
It was a hiding place.
Yeah, it was just hidden up in the ceiling.
F me running. Now, one of the themes of this conversation has been to treat your worker man or worker woman with the utmost respect. You don't want to go sideways on these people because they got all the power. Just like Josh said about food service people. Why do you want to start trouble when they have all the power? Here's a worker who said, when I was working for a customer that I did not like, and one that would hover around too long, he said, easy solution to get him away from you, I'd crop dust him. Now, Josh, being a guy, like we were saying earlier, being a guy who you have a lot of activity in your home, workers coming in. You've always got a project going. Have you ever witnessed, this is what really piques my interest, have you ever witnessed any grand disasters?
Well, because I believe I told you we had a swimming pool in our dining room.
Oh, yes, the pipe.
Pipe burst.
Pipe wasn't done right.
Yeah.
And that's got to, I can't
that
stand.
That did some damage.
I can't stand the idea of water pouring all over my home. I had that one adventure once with flooding in the basement, and I almost went crazy. But when I've had folks perform jobs at my house, I can't help but admit that when they have a big F-up, I'm wildly entertained by it. I am. I mean, as long as nothing really valuable, and I don't have anything and it's really valuable, as long as there isn't massive destruction, I can't help but say it's kind of hilarious.
I more felt bad for the plumber, because, I'm sure he felt terrible or he was embarrassed or something. That would suck.
I had a dude not that long ago. He was carrying, some framing for a door or something through my hallway, and smash! He just tore this big light right out of the ceiling in the hallway, and he simply said, "I'll pay you for that."
That sucks.
Thanks, everyone, for texting in.
Yeah, shoot. I wish we had more time for this. There's a lot of great texts coming in.
I wish I had your skill set, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, me too. I'm jealous. I like learning about that kind of stuff. I couldn't do it.
But don't come into my house with a boombox jamming, rocking out, what's that type of music again? Jam bands? Yeah, don't do that.
Jam bands?
Because my friggin' wife will go down and she'll race down the stairs and tell you to shut up. Bring in some real music next time.
Happy birthday to Drill Till It Squirts Jesus from Orgasm Donor Jesus, and happy birthday to the mama of Zelda Master Jesus.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.